rebuild or the favorites. We here for the latest. South side or the north side. Not tuned to the greatest. Home team for the home teams. Both sides got our own rings. On the mound or the long ball. But we don't pull the wrong strings. Yeah. It's that time of the year now. Wrigley or Gantes or the whole league that we hear now. New show with a new mood. Discussions and interviews. Trade rumors that might be. This is Pinwheels and Knife.
All right. You better watch that tone, little lady.
Watch it.
Yeah, I was going to say something, but I don't want to get into all that. I was going to talk about
don't worry.
certain people tweeting certain comments about certain other comments. That's just fucking wild. All right. You guys ready?
Pinwheels. Hold on. What the hell? There it is. I can share it. Boom, 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 boom.
All right, you guys ready?
Yes, sir.
In 3, 2, 1. What's going on, everybody? It is Thursday, December 14th, and you have found the Pinwheels and Ivy podcast. I am your host, Matt Zawoski, a.k.a. Father Zoe, a.k.a. Southside Zoe. And with me, as always, Mr. Aldo Soto.
Shout out to all the chubby ass havers and chubby ass lovers out there.
We're not even a minute in. And the good Reverend K. Fitz.
I think my name palette speaks for itself. No, hey, look, it's post Shohei right now. We're in the post Shohei world, so it's time to pivot onto some chubby ass and let's get going.
All right, well, that being said,
pivot.
Let's start this guy. Let's just get on the show.
I don't even need to do an intro. I mean, that being said, we got a lot to talk about. Shohei's really rich. People are crying about his contract. We got moves all over the place. We got rumors all over the place. So it's actually kind of nice on December 14th. We have a bunch of stuff to talk about. And unfortunately, a bunch of stuff not to talk about, but we could talk about that. There's nothing to talk about yet.
Talk about some catchers.
Yeah, some backup catchers. So with all that being said, you little chubby ass, let's tap this keg. As always, the show is brought to you by Sports Mockery, sportsmockery.com. Make sure you download the app, turn on push notifications so you'll be the first one to know when the White Sox sign their third backup catcher. Sports Mockery, sportsmockery.com, and also brought to you by Uncle Bud's. It's the holiday season. People are coming back home. For you OG Southsiders, it's where TCs used to be, but take your friends out. Have a night. Go to Uncle Bud's. They got a nice new golden tea machine because I know some people listening right now, that's a big deal to them. They got the really nice one. The new one, it's got the little cup holders and it's real. And you can do like different. I didn't know. That's how far removed I am from the bar scene. I didn't know like there's a new one where you could put like spin and roll and release and, like, different angles and all this stuff. And then they always got something going on. Bingo, trivia, slot machines, everything. So yeah, if you're looking for something to do with all your homies that just came home for holiday break or anything like that, head up to Uncle Bud's. Good food and everything. All right. So I think we'd be remiss if we didn't start out with the big story, the story everybody's talking about. It's all over the place.
Cubs signed.
Can't avoid it.
String catcher. Yep.
You kind of killed my joke because I was just going to say White Sox traded for Max Stassi.
All right, let's restart the show.
Wind that back. Let's start. Chubby ass, blah blah blah. Chubby ass. All right,
yeah.
Uncle Bud's.
Shout out to the chubby ass havers. And
Uncle Bud's.
No, but that was really the only thing that's coming out of Chicago so far since the last time we all convened.
Eric Fetty contract official.
It's officially official. 2 years, $15 million for Fetty Wap.
Friend of the show.
Soon to be friend of the show. You don't get that title until you're on said show. We need to get those shirts too from Joe at Obvious Shirts that say guest on Pinwheels and Ivy Pod.
Yes, and
so
Joe asked
those out.
Joe is ready to join us at any time too, by the way. So.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go.
The Cubs
coming soon in January.
When the Cubs sign or trade for MLB player.
Yeah.
MLB contract. There you go.
MLB contract. But so the White Sox went out and they traded what was it, cash considerations and a player to be named later.
The Angels gave you guys cash. You guys are paying him minimum wage, basically.
Yep. Basically, what you're getting in Max Stassi, everybody, is a guy who is not great at hitting, but he's a pretty good defensive catcher. He's pretty good at framing. He's pretty much he has Monty Grandal, but Grandal fell off on defense a little bit ago. So
he got, like I said, the Angels are paying most of his money for 2024. That's exactly what you want Chris Getz to do. Another solid move. Again, these players, they may not be good, but at least he's not paying a lot for them.
I will give you one.
They're bad, but at least they're cheap.
They're bad, but at least they're cheap too. So hey,
I will give one thing though to Getz. He said what he was going to do, and he's sticking to it. He said we need to get better on defense. Yeah, I mean, and that's pretty much it.
I mean, this is again, we're gonna keep saying it, but the White Sox are gonna lose a lot of 4-2 well played games.
Yep. I'm not kidding when I say it. I'm literally going to send my kid to college betting White Sox unders this year.
You guys are gonna be.
Hold on, I'll be
you're
right.
Going to think you're in games, and you're at least hoping not to get frustrated by 2 errors by the second inning.
Yeah,
at least you have that. You've
got some.
You guys want fun. You guys want fundamental ball. You're gonna get it from the White Sox. Also, kind of last-ditch effort to persuade Shohei didn't work out for the Sox, who were, unfortunately, as we learned last week, first reported by Brody Zawoski, eliminated from the Shohei sweepstakes a week ago. So they should have had that trade lined up a little bit quicker to get Shohei to the South Side. All right, Kevin, let's get into it. Now that Zoe's here, this is our chance to talk Shohei and the Cubs, or not, as we kind of are seeing. Actually, let's go, since we haven't talked about it at all since the last show, since he signed on Saturday. Let's actually start with Friday, though. Thoughts on all the bananas bullshit John Morosi getting...
I feel really bad for John.
What were you guys thinking throughout that entire day and then that night when it's oh man?
I'm thinking, shit, this guy shared my Bo Bichette story, and now he's considered to be a fraud. So that really hurts that. I mean, dude, he's a good reporter. He fucked up, and I think someone brought the attention to the fact that, again, in an off season like this, maybe it might have been Heyman even, but that how agents leak things, organizations leak things, and when
who it was, which was funny,
yeah, and when
fucking you have Bob,
yeah, and when you have these, it's Bob, that's right, and when you have these types of situations where it was literally radio silence from both camps, all it takes is a little, a mouse fart, and you're like, woo, let's magnify that shit and let's go with it, and obviously someone that he generally has faith in, or just he was in a rush to be that first, which sometimes that urge takes over. You just got to show restraint. But I mean, the Phantom Flight with a guy from Shark Tank, for God's sakes, it couldn't have gotten any weirder than that guy.
The fact that he was so wrong about he just was never on the plane.
That's an art judge thing, but worse.
Terrible.
Someone was going to fall victim to this because. It's one of the biggest baseball stories in recent memory. And I mean, it turned out to be massive. The guy signed the biggest contract in the history of sports, not just baseball, sports. It's kind of a big deal. And all these guys were looking for the smallest crumb to jump on to get that social media interaction to build their shit up. And unfortunately, Ohtani's camp played this like a goddamn. He was always going to the Dodgers. It was always the Dodgers.
Disagree.
I mean, his team said that an hour ago.
Did they really confirm that it was only the Dodgers and that there was nobody else at all?
Not officially, but people from his camp on these podcasts, all these guys are saying they talked to him and they were just it was always the Dodgers. Don't go all John Morosi.
Oh, I'm saying that really contradicts a lot of.
Like I told Kevin, if because he's got his guys with the Giants, and the Giants felt early. The Giants thought that they were in it. I'm sure they probably felt that way, but I don't think Shohei felt that way ever about any of the team.
Until Shohei says that, I'm not going to buy it anyway. So,
good luck. Shohei ain't talking to me.
I'm going to say it. And you know what? We're free to do this, and the media is free to spread this, especially the mouthpiece are free to spread this, so that all of their front offices get a free pass on getting their ass beat by the Dodgers. That's the best part of this for every organization. The more it's reported that Shohei was only going to the Dodgers, it bails out every single executive that didn't get the job done. And I'm sorry, this is an optics thing too. Look, the Giants. Why would the Giants openly admit to losing it when they could literally
for the reason you just?
Why would they?
That was
you don't
really bad.
losing like that. Like, that doesn't make any logic. Why would you openly admit to getting your ass beat by your rival team, the Dodgers specifically, if it wasn't true? Like, literally, it looks worse. They could easily say, we didn't know about shit. We weren't even in because he was only the Dodgers. They're literally saying publicly that we were there. Like, that means that they're willing to publicly admit that they weren't. Like, that to me, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, it logically, and again, the stuff that I heard from on the backside of it too. Like, just. That's why I don't buy it. I just feel like this is a great ploy for all the other franchises, the Jays, the Cubs, again, the Angels, anybody that thought they were involved. It bails them out and saying, yeah, we didn't have the chance anyway, so it's fine. It's just another way to kick the blame. It's all Shohei. Yep. Now Shohei's a selfish bastard. Look at these fan bases. Shohei's an asshole. Shohei's selfish. Look, it turns it on the players.
Dumb. I mean,
well, yeah, but if
that surprises you,
did we not learn anything? Did we not learn anything from the shutdown? How the owners can easily manipulate fans in turning on the players when really it's the owner's fault in the first place? We know how this works. So I just don't buy it. I don't buy it. And based on the stuff that I heard, the Giants were there, and I'm going to take that. It's the hill I'll die on.
The Giants, I'll buy the Giants, but then you got like Tom Verducci from Sports Illustrated going on the Dan Patrick Show, one of the biggest shows in sports, just being like, just so you guys know, the Cubs were never in on it.
Mm-hmm. But see, that's the thing, though. If you're gonna cite that in that same podcast, he's like, and yeah, it's the same for the Giants. So that's why I keep saying that. I do feel bad for the Blue Jays fans because it does seem the Verducci clip that was on the Dan Patrick Show.
Yep.
He's like, he loved the Giant. He loves the dome, loves the controlled environment.
Yep.
That I kind of feel bad for the Blue Jays fans. And obviously, all the shit that happened on
anything
Friday.
for Blue Jays fans. Like I would. What
feels like
the victory laps they took during the plane ride and the shit that was talked by Blue Jays fans. No,
we say this all the time. I'm not going to characterize an entire fan base on people from social media.
Right? Exactly.
That's fine.
It's like, guess what? There's a lot of Cubs fans who are assholes all the time.
And I know personally some pretty damn fine men that are Blue Jays fans, but it feels like Shohei showed up to the dance with the Dodgers and didn't like what the Dodgers said to him, and he went over and started flirting with Toronto, just fully trying to make the Dodgers jealous.
I don't buy that Toronto was in at all. I'm telling you right now, the Giants were the closest one. And Aldo and I even talked about it. It could have very well been the fact that they weren't willing to take the last big stipulation of the entire deal, which is your GM or your whatever, the man in charge of your organization. I have an opt-out if you let these people go, which is almost Aldo said it too. Shohei is basically now the owner of the Dodgers. He dictates now who is in that front office.
I don't want to get too stuck on but I mean, Shohei wasn't going to. It's either one of two things with the Blue Jays. One, he was using them for leverage. Okay, so that means that he wanted to sign with the Dodgers all along, and he just wanted to find teams to use for leverage. Or two, the Blue Jays were a serious contender for him because he flew all the way to Florida to go through their spring training facility. So I don't think he was just going to be wasting time to go.
Shohei's camp confirmed that he did go there, though?
Yeah. Okay, that's the other thing. If we're going off that, if I'm not going to believe it until Shohei, then we're just never going to know. He's not going to say.
He'll never say.
Why would I believe the Giant thing? Did Shohei's camp confirm that?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's what I'm saying. All right. Anyways,
we're going to believe whatever we believe because it gives us comfort because that's what we do nowadays anyway, so it's fine.
The $700 million
That's not really
deal.
it here. You could talk about that with other fans, but I'm not a fucking moron, man. I can put the pieces together and you see how this plays out.
Like, yeah,
Don't do the smug shoulders shrug shit, man. Talk. Don't just do the.
I did just talk. I just told you that it's literally the mouth.
But then every time I say something that contradicts or something that you don't think is right, you're just sitting there and you're shrugging your shoulders.
I disagree with you. I'm allowed to disagree with you. I don't have to.
You are, but just.
So it's fine, and you don't agree with me, and that's
smiling and shrugging your shoulders though. It's just. Don't do that. It's fucking annoying. But
that is annoying as that light behind you. Turn it down. I can't stop. I'm off to a flame right now. I can't stop.
If someone wants to fucking come over here and paint the basement and do all that other shit that needs to be done, I'll give you my address after the show.
You've got your project.
I'm fucking stuck in this room until future.
How close? How close is it to being done?
We're shooting for January 1st, but we'll see.
The bowl games.
Yep, that's actually the goal.
The $700 million deal, which was like I referenced on Twitter, Shohei was just going off my proposed deal last year of $1 billion over 50 years, but he got $700 million over 20. Good for him. The CBT payroll luxury tax is going to be $46 million a year. I mean, you want to talk about a new Bobby Bonilla date. He's going to get $68 million from 2034 to 2043. I have to assume that during those years that the Dodgers are going to be somehow a little fucked. I know inflation happens, but still $68 million a year. That's a good chunk of change for any team. But again, who knows?
And then the big thing, he defers all this money to, I mean, I understand the ruse of putting it out there that he's doing it for the good of the team. He wants to be on a winning team. And then the other clause in his contract kind of backs it up. But I mean, if you don't think the main driver of that is avoiding taxes,
we got beef on here. He's an accountant, right? Like
we need beef. We need
tax law
101 from beef.
I have now been digging into this shit, and I cannot find an actual concrete answer because I am seeing so many conflicting things. Because I've got gamblers that are telling me one thing. I've got I'm literally trying to dig into this, and Beef's an accountant. My buddy's an accountant here in Vegas. He flat out says that no, literally in 2 years, if Shohei isn't paying taxes on that, you can guarantee that within 2 or 3 years that California is going to pass legislation allowing them to tax that because they're not going to let $700 million in state taxes somehow get slipped away and taken to some other place. And I like for me, we know this. Like if you do work in the state, I live in Vegas, but when I did work for Sports Mockery and I wrote, I had to pay taxes, Illinois state taxes, because that's where my money was. So the vested stuff is really questionable. I'm not sure how all that works because it's almost like, why wouldn't anybody just simply take a deferred something and then move to Florida, Texas, or Nevada so they don't have to pay the taxes on it? If it's that easy, why doesn't everybody else do it? That's my question. Is it doesn't feel like anybody really knows the concrete answer of what's going to happen.
I do have to say, there are people who know a lot about tax law and know the loopholes in taxes. Those are rich people. That's why they stay rich.
Yep,
and that's why they are just because they got the great tax people that know what to do. So that's why I do feel confident that Shohei's going to get away with something here.
Don't professional athletes, when they get their game check, it gets taxed on where the game was played, right?
Correct. Right. Just like in the NFL and the NBA, where you get taxed on where you play the actual game and do the work. So if there's 81 games, it'll be taxed California no matter what. And then say they play the Las Vegas Athletics, those games prorated wise will not be counted with state taxes, only federal taxes. But when you look at it, the federal taxes that he's getting hit on this thing is it was something like 47% if he's paying both state and federal taxes on it. But
I'm trying to find that damn little ring light I used to have so I can kill this light with something else. But
when I think it was Passon who first wrote that story, maybe I think it was him, or maybe it was one of the.
He was the one that
And wait, hold on. Although, shout out to Jeff Passon because while all these other fuckers were tweeting out all this crazy shit, Passon was sitting there, didn't say a goddamn word.
Never does.
Never does. Never does.
He does his TV spots that he has to do on ESPN, Sports Center, and whatever other stuff he does. But he's not out here. Even I still respect Ken Rosenthal, but he's a guy. He's on foul.
I got some. I got something about him. Yeah, I got something to talk about.
And he tweets. I mean, he tweets on a daily. He does the social media stuff, and he's a highly respected guy. But Passon's the new dude in town. In the past decade or so. But he doesn't do that. He doesn't engage in the day by day rumorville. rumor mill with the agents telling him this stuff. Maybe some executives telling him this.
He's busy making memes of beef loaf.
He's murdering beef loaf.
That's what he's doing.
But you know what, Jeff?
He's waiting for beef loaf to slip up. That's what he's doing.
Passan doesn't report things the minute he hears it. Passan literally which is what I respect, because I think that's my policy too. He doesn't go out and just pop it when he hears it. He goes out and he tries to confirm it elsewhere from people that are unrelated to his one source, if he can get it from somebody else. And he's not, when he did this, he was 100% sure. There was zero chance that he was going to be wrong on his report, because he is a responsible journalist and he is more, credibility matters in this industry. And I think we've seen it now. Morosi's obviously going to be, he's probably never invited back to Toronto for poutine.
That's tough.
He's going to have to spend.
So bad.
He's going to have to he's on a short leash now. It's going to take a long time for him to get credited. Every time he breaks his story now, people are like, yeah, right. And so he's going to have to be right a bunch of times in a row before anybody says your credit. Because once you throw out your credibility, you can't get it back. And once people don't trust you and think that your sources are bullshit, Playmaker Dave, you no longer have any credibility, and it's being correct.
And that's the problem. And that's the problem with Morosi, because Morosi is seen as like he's on MLB Network. I think before he was on Fox, Fox Sports. And like, he seems like a pretty respected dude, but he is also a guy who does engage in the daily social media, going to get these clips out. Hey, I'm hearing this. You can tell when he's getting stuff from agents. And you do, when you get something so wrong like this was basically what he reported was basically on the par of like the random Twitter reporters that we get. The guys who were connecting the Cubs to Ohtani and saying they were finalists and whatever. Like, that was on the same part. You can't be on that same level, man.
It made that airplane flight the most watched airplane in the air, and dare I say 22 years on radar. Like he literally was. Everybody was tuned out. My students, my baseball players in my class, they're like, dude, I was staring at my phone watching a plane instead of listening to my teacher, because I needed to know where that plane was going to, like, it was hilarious. Like it became such a popular, it was the number one trend on social media. It was the story, and then it blew up. And it's like someone turned a Wolverine loose in his pants. It's over.
In the back of my head, I know everyone was doing the conspiracy theory with the Shark Tank guy, and he works for the same agent. But right now, I was just thinking about.
I just feel like I'm in the Ghost.
Yeah.
It was a dark and stormy night.
I'm thinking about. Remember how at the winter meetings, I think it was Buster Olney wrote it, and there was a couple guys from Atlanta and a few other big national baseball writers. They were like, what the hell is Shohei's problem? This is bullshit that it's so secretive. What if his agent was like, let me just get this little piece of cheese to John Morosi. He seems like a respected guy, still pumps out the social media stuff, but he's a credible guy. Let me get this just completely erroneous story. And I'll give you fuckers a story. And here you go. You just said Shohei was the talk of the entire sports world that Friday.
He was, and then
was it the guy that helped him confirm the Bo Bichette rumors?
Oh man,
with the Blue Jays. Oh shit, fuck me. Oh, there goes my credibility with him.
So right before we got on the show, I was watching that Ken Rosenthal hit on AJ Przinsky's show, and they bring up, they're like, I don't know the exact phrasing. I had it on in the background, but he's just like, so what? Why does San Francisco keep missing out on all this stuff? And Ken's like, well, the city's changed a lot. Crime has gone up. Homelessness is all over. And they start showing clips of like homeless people in San Francisco and shit. And I'm thinking to myself, this is really the way you want to go about this?
So stupid. I'm going to tell you this right now. I was in San Francisco, 3-4 weeks ago.
I
walked through the fucking Tenderloin district, the one that they talk about. Mm-hmm. There are tiny little areas where it looks bad. And if you take a camera and you only film that area from 2 different angles, it looks like it's the whole city, bro. No, they got a smash and grab problem. Look, I saw people smoking heroin outside of Carson Kitchen here in Las Vegas last Thursday night. If I just filmed that chunk right there off of Fremont, Vegas has a massive homeless problem just as bad as San Francisco. It's not that bad there. There's a smash and grab problem, and some crime in the city, but it's no worse than anybody else. The violent crime rate actually is below Dallas, for example.
Right. I know. I was going to just say, if that's the case, no one's playing in Chicago. No one's playing in New York.
I was about to say,
playing in
such a weakness.
As guys who are who grew up in Chicago, obviously we know the stigma and the national perception. Now, while I disagree with Ken, or actually, I don't. I have no idea what San Francisco is like. But
That's a good. Baloney
you
said
have to worry about Draymond Green whipping her ass. That's
Yeah,
true.
basically.
That is very true.
That's fucking funny.
I do have to say, not that I haven't been to San Francisco, no idea, but you obviously see stuff on the news. But you can say that about any major city, really.
Anywhere.
Minor city.
But I do have to say, San Francisco is getting that growing stigma around like, but crime is up. Not even if it's not true,
Right.
you can point to that being that evolving to the perception from the outside.
Right.
Unless you're from Chicago, because if you're from Chicago and you believe that, but you don't believe the fact that you're walking outside of your house every day in danger of getting blasted in Chicago with a gun, which it's not the case. It's the same thing. Like Chicago stigma is the same kind of stigma that's created for San Francisco. It's created this like idea that everywhere you go, it's the same thing, and it's not. Do you know there are pockets of places you just don't fucking go? I know here.
Whoever's going to be signing there isn't going to be living like anywhere close.
Do you know where the term Skid Row? Skid Row comes from Los Angeles, where Shohei signed. Skid Row is like
Shohei's like out in the stadium. He's out in the.
That's what I'm saying. But him saying that Shohei wouldn't have signed in San Francisco or because of that, why would they sign in LA?
Right.
The reason I brought it up though was because here's a guy that I usually respect in the industry and stuff like that, Ken Rosenthal, and he's pulling that card. And then like even as he was saying it, you can see him in his own like facial expressions be like, "Oh, this is some bullshit." Because then he like pivots mid-sentence to, and they got them taxes. And I was just like, wait, what? Where are you going? So anyways, the reason I bring it up though is because now like John Mauricio took a huge shit. Ken Rosenthal, I don't know what the fuck he was doing. But again, Jeff Passan's been my number one since he went on the 108. The fact that he created that relationship with Beef Love, it's hilarious. But then he backed it up and showed up on their show and did a
hilarious,
like a great 30 to 45 minutes on their show. I mean, I'll still go back.
He's quick.
And listen to. I would love to have a conversation with him, but
Beef.
It's just like that's my guy now. I turned off alerts for everyone else except for Jeff Passan. That's it, because I know when he tweets some shit, it's legit. I mean, fuck, I feel so bad. John Morosi seems like such a nice guy too.
I kept you guys on my alerts. I appreciate. I want to know.
The other thing about John Morosi,
I've never had alerts for non-beat reporters. I'll see it if I see it.
I was gonna say John Morosi too.
I want to share it in the chat instead.
John Morosi, I think I've been following him since like I first got on Twitter. I think he's like a big like hockey guy too, and obviously we know hockey in Canada, that's like the number one sport. I don't know if he may or may not have like covered hockey, but like he'll like throw in random hockey tweets. So like I think he's also just like a big Canada guy. I don't know if he had a little Hector Gomez in him with this Shohei and him really wanting Toronto to sign him. He's like, please, yes, that'd be great. I love Canada.
So in all this, go ahead.
I just know it just popped up back on my timeline of Ken Rosenthal being like, yeah, it's a city thing.
I just know this, through all of this, I've learned this, that with Toronto fans that were at least the social media side of the Toronto fans, I didn't really realize, here's a Golden Knights fan, fresh off of a parade, that they hadn't won since 1967.
They're losers.
That's geez, what a angry. I mean, Joe Carter is literally it for them right now, which is what fucking 30 years ago. So
honestly, this was my first experience into Blue Jays Twitter, and what I learned was that every fan base is nuts when it comes to free agency.
Yep.
Now I'll say
it doesn't matter who you are or where you're from.
I learned that with Arizona.
Blue Jays fan Matt Harvey is cool. By the way, he's cool. I just send it out there. Matt's awesome.
Yeah, I learned that with Arizona when I tweeted out the Cease trade. Like I was like, Jesus, I didn't even know this many people liked the Diamondbacks. Like this.
What was your favorite? I guess we can wrap up the Ohtani talk here, but what was your favorite random Ohtani report? Mine was the Mariners 1 year, $65 million.
That was great. That was a good one.
Deleted Yahoo Japanese article.
Yep, that one was good. My favorite was people that were like serious baseball people actually trying to say that he would go back to the Angels.
Yeah.
People would tweet. What on?
I only
what
wanted to
the
see
fuck-
that because I was
what?
bitter. I'm like, fuck everyone.
Yeah, like all right, and also welcome to hell, new girl. White Sox Twitter is hell. But now we have 2 girls watching. We doubled our demographic
Double
in one night. Yeah, I guess that's it. I mean, it's still. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. There's been times since it happened where I'll just be working and it'll just hit me. I'll be like, "That's the biggest contract in sports," and that includes soccer, which they signed some crazy shit over there in soccer. But
Yeah.
$700 million. I mean, and the thing is, like we've been saying since the get-go, he will never talk about it. He just wants to play.
We
I
are
didn't watch his
not
press
gonna hear
conference.
him.
He does, but no, he won't even be like, yeah, like I came here because I'm good friends with Mookie or some shit like that. He'll never say that. Like,
No, and that's the thing.
hey,
part of that,
although real quick, when for our social medias and for like Spotify and stuff, can you just put this as the tagline? Said this was cool though.
all right.
But yeah, I mean, unless you guys got something else about Ohtani, we can.
Oh, the last thing I was going to add was when I brought up
Pivot.
earlier how Paston's article talking about the deferred money. And like one of the reasons that Ohtani is doing it is like I just had no idea that he made so much in endorsements. Like I'm like, yeah, sure, like he's obviously a national
see that jersey
superstar.
stat?
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's why every fucking fan base that's like, oh, that's way too much money. Like teams not gonna do it. These teams are fine. Any team that was gonna sign Ohtani, they're gonna
make it back. They're gonna make it back
year by year how
2
much
years.
money they're gonna be making off his name.
Did you see? Did
Go
you
ahead,
see
Vince.
that they announced today in the first 48 hours?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The jersey numbers. Yeah,
Well, that's
But
where
dude,
you get it. Highest.
keep in
ever.
mind,
ever.
you're not just getting like a popular. You're getting an entire fucking country. Like Japan is now all.
No, you're
Dodgers.
getting a continent.
Yeah.
You're getting a continent, not just
Like,
one country. You're getting the
I
whole.
I didn't understand that take it all from people when they're like, "Oh, that's crazy money." Then, dude, they're gonna have that back. They probably already made it back. No, they didn't make $700 million.
No, but
Like,
they'll make
they-
it back in 2 to 4 years. I think that was my guess.
without a doubt.
I think
This is
Beeflo
not
was
bad.
talking about it, and he was on his nerd accounting shit. But like, I'm sure the Dodgers drew out a model, and they're like, "All right, we got Shohei for this."
Yeah,
much.
they had bar grams and Venn diagrams and shit.
Right.
Like
We're
they weren't
gonna do
fucking
this
around.
deal
Was
with
there a
this
pie graph?
company. We're gonna have this deal over
Maybe.
here.
I'm hungry.
Hey, Shohei, you want a restaurant here? All right, we got 20%
Yeah.
of that. Like they know.
No, I take it back all the time out. Time out. That was my favorite part about the Shohei thing is when the opera singer from Toronto tweeted out that like a sushi restaurant had a reservation for like 50 something people.
For Kikuchi, yeah. Okay, I'll say
Not
two
Nobu.
parts. 2 parts to this. I hope it's true, but I also don't hope it's true. But there is the reply. I don't know if it was a joke that they were like, "You just ruined a surprise party for his wife for the."
That
the
had been
player."
a joke, but it was funny to think about.
It was funny regardless.
Yes, that was pretty funny. But
That just made me wonder. What is your favorite kind of graph, guys? What's your favorite graph?
I love me
I'm a
a
big-
pie chart.
Like a pie
I'm a
chart?
good-
Like a pie
I
chart.
like a well done Venn diagram.
Venn diagrams are fun, right? A triple Venn
I mean,
diagram.
like
even more
when,
so.
like the one that says like in the middle, it's a 3 circle one,
Yeah.
and in the middle it says put your hands up, and it's like robbers, jock jams, and like something about like cops, like it's all of them or something like that.
Did you do a Vanderpump Rules Venn diagram?
We should do a.
I had a chart. That was
A chart.
flow
Oh,
chart.
okay. It was
That
just
was
we
a
should do
flow
a
chart,
pie,
yeah.
We should do one of those Venn diagrams with chubby ass lovers. And then
Chubby
see who-
assers and chubby ass lovers. So like
And people that don't know how to tweet sarcasm.
people that forget to put emojis to showcase sarcasm. Yeah.
Yeah, or like an LOL.
Yeah. Just give us something.
And then like Sox
So-
fan is the third circle, and then you see who
a
goes. in
a new segment. We should call this Fidz's little finger because he's got his little birdies out there
Oh.
and he's here.
Kevin was thinking about Freddie got fingered.
I was like, wait,
Yep.
yeah, wait. I was young.
That's why it's clever wordplay, dickheads. But
Kevin Fiddler's finger.
Fiddler's finger.
Little birdie.
Fiddler's finger. Oh man.
Finger was not the same person. The eunuch. You're thinking of the eunuch.
So one of the things though that I want to start out with is apparently the AL Central, although it sucks, is a hotbed for trade rumors right now. Specifically, douchebags in Cleveland. I've been seeing Josh Naylor linked to the Cubs, the Mariners, that
would be cool.
Him from the Guardians, I'm seeing a lot of Clase, Naylor, Bieber. Who was there one other guy, or was that just those?
Those are the three main guys. I mean, the pipe dream, of course, for Cubs fans would be Jose Ramirez, but that's not happening.
He ain't going nowhere. Like, I don't think he'd ever leave Cleveland, but I could definitely see Shane Bieber going somewhere and reviving his career. There's the whole and this is probably again agents using social media, but there's the whole like he's at Driveline now. He's changed this. His arm angle's moved a half of a centimeter, and like there's all that crazy shit. But I'm just gonna say it. Josh Naylor's a fucking douchebag, and I would be so happy to see him out of the AL Central because he is a douchebag, but he's a douchebag that hits.
We'll take him in the NL Central on the Cubs.
Bye.
I look at this, and you say this. The dude actually had 128 runs created last year. He has a 6.7 walk percentage. He only strikes out 13.7% of the time. He's got a 489 slugging, a 308 average, a 354 on base percentage. He hit 17 jacks in 121 games. That's good. Cubs could use that, but is he a douchebag? Like, I really don't know much about him. Like,
he
is the juice not worth the squeeze with him?
I think he's the classic. You hate him on the other team. You love him on your team.
And you're absolutely right. He is the tryhard. He is a tryhard. He is not as bright as my fucking computer screen. God damn.
You need angels singing behind you or in front of you.
But he's pretty good. I mean, you look at his baseball savant, like his barrel percentage is low, his exit velocity is low, his hard hit percentage is low. He chases a lot. He does not walk. Let's just put it that way. He chases a lot.
I'll tell you what, though, if you look at the baseball savant from last year, there's a guy you don't want to look at.
Exactly. No, you're right. And I mean, from someone that's watched a lot of Josh Naylor at bats, I mean, and I'm just some moron on my couch. The scouting report's got it. He has a lot of trouble with balls waist down. Like anything up in the zone, he's putting it on fucking the Dan Ryan. I've seen it.
But he's chasing a lot of balls low. Yep.
Yeah, he is not a low ball hitter. He has a lot of problem with that. He is definitely a swing hard in case you hit it guy. He's not going to choke up on the bat with 2 strikes and move the runners. But he has a lot of really clutch hits. I think he's well liked in the Cleveland clubhouse because he is energy. He is but I also think I will laugh because I hate him, and he keeps talking about how much he loves playing with his brother. So it'd be awesome if they traded him after one season of that, because fuck him. But yeah, I mean, he'd be a great addition to the Cubs. Long story short, he'd be a great addition to Cubs. I'm seeing him in Cubs rumors, or not just Cubs rumors. Like, there's a couple teams that have been tied to him. Class A's got to be the sexy girl in that package, though, because he's still an all-star closer. I mean,
yeah, cheap. I think he's locked up for bunch of years.
And so this is where I start getting nervous as an AL Central foe is Class A is cheap, and that's going to give you a big return. Naylor is in a position of need for a lot of teams that need a lefty, first baseman. He's not a good fielder either, but a decent, you know what I mean? And like, then you throw in, who was the third guy? Bieber. Bieber won't fetch a lot, but if you could get a package together for like Naylor and Class A, that's going to get you a big return. And I don't like that because Cleveland could pull off a nice trade there.
Kevin, who's like the big, or who would headline that deal for you for the Cubs? Let's say let's go big to small. It's the 3-for-1. It's Bieber, it's Naylor, and Class A. So you're getting, a former ace type starting pitcher in Bieber. He has 1 year left until he's a free agent.
Who still has the goods.
Yep, still pretty good, coming off an injury, but you're hoping he obviously rebounds. So I think he's 28.
Look at Cleveland.
Class A. closer. Struggled a little. He did struggle.
Yeah.
That's the worrying thing about these guys is with Bieber and Clase that they did struggle in 2023, and you're like, why? Why did you struggle?
Damn,
and with
why is
Bieber,
this
it was the
computer so
injury.
bright?
Yeah, dude, you're like a fucking ghost.
Dude, it's like I'm gonna have sunburn on my face after looking just at fucking prospects.
And then Naylor has 2 more years. I think he's coming off a career year, so you're like, is this his peak? Is he going to get better? If you're the Cubs, though, who are you sending?
So, what is their third back? I'm trying to pull it up. How's their hot corner? First off,
well, they have Jose Ramirez.
So he's one of the best in the league. So yeah,
that's not an issue. What do they have? Give me a scouting report real quick, because I
got you. No, I got you. What do you need? I gotta move this.
Well, I think they need outfielders, which the Cubs do have.
That's what they need. They need outfielders. 100% they need outfielders. They're good on the infield though.
In there. I'll put a Matt Mervis there too. Actually, an Owen Casey and a Matt Mervis. Okay. And then they're probably going to look for an arm, but I am not giving up a Ben Brown. I'm going to probably give up something a little bit deeper down. Or maybe, you know what? Maybe Jackson. I'd be willing to give up Jackson.
Yeah, because they're in. I mean, Cleveland's infield set. Left field is set for them because they got Kwan. That fucking guy. But
they need a power hitter. They do not have any.
Yeah, they have a lot of contact guys. They need some pop. I mean, they brought up their top prospect towards the end of the season last year, the Rocio guy. He plays middle infield, second or short. They'll play him at short because they have that other little gremlin playing second base that always fucking gets base hits.
Jimenez.
Yeah. And then, so basically what Cleveland needs is they're going to need a center fielder, a right fielder. They're going to need power and probably a starting pitcher.
Okay. Yeah. So that makes Casey makes sense then, because Casey's going to be a big left-handed back.
I would include an MLB arm, either Assad or Wicks.
See, I'm actually, I made fun of him a lot. I'm a little leery letting Assad go.
Oh, now I see why Cleveland's. I'm not too familiar with Cleveland's farm system, but now I'm getting why they're willing to trade Naylor, because he's going to probably want to get paid a little bit more. And their top in the system prospect. He's number 58 in the top 100. He's a first baseman, Kyle Manzardo.
And they're also drafting first.
But this kid, he's got a 60 grade hit tool, 50 power. He's a first baseman. Shitty in the field. He's slow as fuck, but he can hit bombs. And he's a lefty. So that's probably why they're easy to give. Willing to trade Naylor before they have to pay him. Cleveland loves to do that.
I forgot about that. They're sitting in a great spot to get Weatherholt, which
Cleveland's got a good farm system.
And Weatherholt,
4 top 100 prospects.
Wait till you see Weatherholt. He's a middle infielder. He's a shortstop, second baseman from, I think, West Virginia. And I'm assuming he's going to be the number one pick in the draft. That is going to be a guy that's almost major league ready the minute they draft him. I'd say about a year in the bushes, and he'd be up already too. So it's a quick turnaround prospect. There's another first base prospect, I think, too. That's like 1 or 2, but that he's it. He's good.
I guess it depends how MLB ready they want the top return to be. Because Casey, I think, is still maybe like a year away.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about the pitchers. Like you said, Kevin, like it would not like it wouldn't be like heartbreak, but like it would hurt to lose Assad. Assad has become a very dependable. Like 4th, 5th starter, or like a long reliever guy.
He looks big. He looks just like Baloney too. Like he looks just.
We got his doppelganger.
We got a doppelganger.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
He stepped
very
up
handsome
in the second half for the Cubs, and he's been pretty solid his first 2 stints up in the big leagues. But yeah, I mean,
Michael,
that would be a huge package.
Got some
huge packages again.
We love talking about big packages, but Michael in the comments, Glasnow and Bieber. Glasnow, like the rest of Major League Baseball, is probably going to go play for LA.
No one was happier because I think that everyone's the big plan was whoever's going to get Ohtani. It's like it makes perfect sense to get Glasnow because it's 1 year, and then Ohtani comes back in 2025 for your starting rotation. So you pair those guys up. Nobody was happier than the Tampa Bay Rays that the Dodgers.
I just got signed by the Dodgers.
Yeah. He's like, all right, guys, hey, you guys want Glasnow?
Yeah.
No offense, Donnie, on this one too. What you just wrote is what actually someone wrote a year ago, probably right now, but take Max Fried out of it and write Shohei Ohtani. And they wrote the same thing. We can't keep saving up money and
we can go back to
down the road.
2018.
It's
Harper,
hard to land a free agent. Yeah, it's hard to land a big one. But you need to get a whale sooner or later. You got to overpay for that. You got to overpay.
Question time for you two.
Yes.
If the Cubs fail to sign Cody Bellinger, who apparently was in Toronto because his girlfriend was posting Instagram pics of them in Toronto last weekend.
I pretend like she was trolling. I'm going to pretend like she was trolling.
Okay,
testing out the weed.
Yeah.
Let's say
strain.
The Cubs fail
Space
to
Needle.
bring back Bellinger. It's a pretty steep cliff after Bellinger in that free agent market. How could the Cubs still have a successful offseason, in your opinion?
Without Bellinger?
Without Bellinger.
It gets really tough without Bellinger.
It gets very tough.
Selling the team to Mark Cuban? That would probably be
no, because I'm seeing the normal Cubs Twitter morons, and you both know who I'm talking about. It's King Moron with his coffee brand.
Say his name.
Ian Happ? It's Ian Happ's coffee.
I see him already trying to sip on the copium, saying like, hey man, if they go out and get Matt Chapman, and he said a couple other names. He's like, it's cool,
Reese
man.
Hoskins. It was supposed to be Bellinger, Hoskins, and
a pitcher. One of the pitchers. Yeah. That's a successful.
And Chapman's been popping up. Chapman's not awful. He's just not. I mean, it's not. You're not. Look, you lose Cody Bellinger. You need to replace literally your best hitter on a team that wasn't quite ready for the playoffs. That's not great. That's already. You're needing to replace a 4.5 plus WAR guy, and you don't do that with, no offense to Chapman. I think, what was his WAR? I mean, he was like a 4.1 WAR, but
I'm a Matt Chapman fan. I just don't think he's that guy. I think he's a piece. He's not the piece.
He's very much the piece. He's very much Dansby Swanson like.
There you go. Yeah. Exactly.
We're like, it's a solid signing. You improve your team, but you're not really getting a star. Like,
right. And on a team that's really good, you have a few of those types of guys, but you have to have a star. Yep. Cody Bellinger's a star, whereas those guys are consistent yeomen. But we saw it at the end of the season. Dansby really didn't get it done towards the end of the season. It offensively, and he regressed a little defensively at the end too. Like and this is a guy that does play every day, which is great. But the Reese Hoskins thing, I'm going to predict. I think Reese Hoskins signs with the Giants. I know I'm like Mr. Giants guy right now, but I really do think Hoskins signs with the Giants. I think that Chapman is a possibility.
Well, hold on, Fitz. Time out. Tell people why you think it's the Giants, because one of your birdies told it's either the Cubs or the Giants, right?
Couple birdies.
Couple birdies. But I gotta think the Giants. I gotta think the Giants are going to start being in panic mode, and they're going to start overpaying motherfuckers. And Hopkins
Giants want Belly too. Giants want Belly too. And he's familiar with the ballpark. He's played there a billion times as a former Dodger. He knows what to expect. They don't have to sell him on the good pros and cons of it. And
I'll play out a scenario. Here we go. I'll play out a scenario where you don't.
Sorry, Fitz, I'm using my phone as my light, so I didn't see your message. But
if you don't, if the Cubs don't get Cody Bellinger, he goes either to the Giants or the Blue Jays, or I don't know, maybe another surprise team.
What about the
Blue Jays?
How the
heck? The Diamondbacks.
The Diamondbacks. I mean, I'm just making this up, but he's the hometown kid, man. He's from what is it?
I think it's from Scottsdale.
A little bit outside of Scottsdale. Yeah. Well, you know this. Is it what high school did he did? Not Brophy. Shit, he didn't go to Brophy.
Paradise Vale. I don't
know. He's from there though. And it's not even like being. I don't hear anybody talking about. Like, if I'm the Diamondbacks, it'd be like a great addition to a team that was in the World Series.
Diamondbacks don't pay people,
and a guy that could play all over the place, but he'll sell jerseys.
I retract that. I was confusing the Rays and the Diamondbacks. Rays don't pay people.
So I think right now, if you're the Cubs, or if you're a Cubs fan, because again, who knows what the Cubs are thinking. If you're a Cubs fan thinking about this, and they don't get Cody Bellinger, he goes, whatever. Yeah, let's say the Blue Jays get him. Free agency wise, there's just not a lot of good hitters. Chapman, again, fine, okay. It's an upgrade. Okay, fine.
It's an upgrade. He's a good piece, but
it's an upgrade over Patrick Wisdom and
no. So it's the thing. You go over to first base, and then you root for. You root for either the Yankees or the Dodgers to sign Yamamoto.
Mhm.
The Mets are like, fuck, we don't really have any guys. Are we really going to compete in 2024? No, not really. All right. Pete Alonso back on the trade market. And then you try to get Pete Alonso. If you get Pete Alonso, you're getting a star. You're getting a star bat, first base. You have him for at least 2024. So that's a start. You still sign. You have to sign one of the free agent pitchers, either Shota Imanaga from Japan, Jordan Montgomery.
That's also
maybe a Blake Snell. Who knows what their markets are going to be? Because again, it's quiet.
Zero connection with the Cubs. Not a single mention to him with the Cubs, which is so strange that they do need a starting pitcher, and he's a lefty too. God, but
Sam in the comments. Appreciate you watching and chiming in, Sam. But someone's going to get Belly 275, 300 million. He's going to get it. He's going to get it.
I think he's going to end up with the Correa deal.
Do you think it's going to drop? You think it's going to backfire on him? It's going to drop a little bit and kind of crater out a little bit?
I do, because unless the Giants are like, fuck it, whatever, just give him the money.
Three Giants. That's what they are right now.
That's the only, because even the Blue Jays, I don't think the Blue Jays would drop that huge money on Belly.
Think about this for a second too. The danger of the Dodgers doing all of this is the fact that everybody in that division then, out of desperation, it's like an arms race, right? Like the U.S. builds 50 nuclear bombs. Russia's like, shit. So the Giants, or they're not obviously Russia, but Cold War stuff. The Russians are like, well, shit, we need to match this. So they're going to go out and get their nukes as no matter what it costs, because you've got to kind of keep up with the Joneses over here. And rivalry, nobody can sit back. I mean, obviously the Braves are the best equipped to kind of stand with that team. But you look at this, everyone's, but I'm afraid that the West, some team, maybe the Padres or maybe the Giants, are going to simply go like, wow, well, we got to just take it all. Go, just whatever it takes.
I don't give the Padres. The Padres would seem like a logical fit for like the fallback option for some of these guys, but their whole money thing and trading away Soto, trying to save the money for 2024, I don't necessarily get what their plan is right now in terms of how big they're going to be spending. But if they do eventually be like, all right, we can do one big deal, maybe they do get back in the picture. The same way that we talked about Ohtani and maybe not ever considering teams, or if he did or didn't, I think that could also be with Cody Bellinger, who's like, maybe the Giants do offer him a lot of money, but he's like, for whatever reason, again, I'm not going to speculate whatever, but he's like, I don't want to go to the Giants. Because right now, despite, again, you can take it as serious or not, maybe it is just agent posturing through the media, but you have national and local reporters being like, Cody Bellinger loved it in Chicago. He'd love a reunion. Obviously, he's not going to take a hometown discount or whatever, but if he can work something out.
Here's what I say about the Giants. Two words. Jock Peterson, also former Dodger, understands the rivalry, went there, played there, loved it there. And those guys are buddies. And that's a real interesting kind of connection for him as well. That could be a selling point. But the fact that you're hearing so much chatter about how much he loves Chicago tells me that that's putting pressure somewhere else.
Yeah, that I do think that's pushing up the price on like the Blue Jays or like the Giants, or maybe the mystery team that it will eventually.
Las Vegas Athletics, correct? Las Vegas Athletics.
But
2 more years, everybody.
But I do think, because the way that Boris, and this was before Ohtani signed and the deal came out, and there was like the story was like, yeah, he's asking for $300 million for Cody Bellinger. Again, it's not our money. We can debate it on two different fronts. Who cares what these guys are getting? At the end of the day, these teams can afford it. And then we can argue, well, if they're spending this on this, are they going to be able to spend on that? Whatever. I think teams are going to wait it out. And I don't think Cody Bellinger is going to
He'll wait it out too, though. Like, he's fine with it. Like, he'll take it till he has to. It's baseball. It's not football or the NBA. You don't have to learn a new offense.
But I think Scott Boras already drew up the blueprint on, if the market dries up, all right, let's just pivot to the big AAV on a short-term deal. We get the opt-out after 1 year. I'm sure teams are going to be like, all right, fine. It's just another good year for you. It's a good year for us. So I think it's going to be, maybe it's not. Maybe a team does get desperate and they're like, all right, fuck it. 250. Here you go, Cody. And he's like, yes.
And maybe
I think it's a 3-year deal and opt-outs.
And Sam said it right. Look, don't get caught up in recency bias. So for some, maybe Major League Baseball in general needs to see Cody Bellinger do it 2 years in a row to show that it's the old Cody and not just an outlier again. So that big AAV single year or like, contract multiple years with an opt out, like kind of like what he had with the Cubs where he's getting, it was a 1 year deal with that. And we knew that he was going to opt out basically. And then he comes back and he does it one more time. Like, but that's the one thing with that is a good question mark as much, again, I've told you guys a million times, Cody Bellinger has been my favorite non-Cub player.
Oh no. What happens though?
I just seeing this now. The Blue Jays are rumored to be in on Cody Bellinger as well as trying to get Christian Yelich.
There's 2 of them? Oh wait,
Christian Yelich, get that cheater out of here.
Yeah, apparently John Hayden said the Blue Jays are showing strong interest in getting Cody Bellinger and Christian Yelich.
Interesting. And
I have a lot of interest in having both of them in my lineup too. I would love to have that. I'm interested in it too. What does that mean for the Cubs then? Is Jed interested?
And I'm seeing a lot of people in the comments, and everyone wants to talk about Yamamoto. And it's weird how people just assume that the Yankees are going to get it done.
I think it's the Mets.
I think it's the fucking Dodgers.
Or the Dodgers. That's the thing.
The dude just sat in a room with Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Ohtani, who's his boy.
The skeleton of Vince Scully. They brought him in too.
And then they brought in their catcher, Will Smith, to talk about how he would call a game with them. Like, I don't see how that.
He's going to the Dodgers. He's going to the Dodgers.
That's
all they didn't even need all that. That's all overkill. Seriously, that's like me signing with a team and calling Fizz and being like, "Yo, come on."
And Glass now. And Glass now. Like that.
I think the Dodgers are about to go. I think the Dodgers are about to go like Ohtani, Glass now, Yamamoto, Josh Hader, like in 10 days.
And there's nothing you can do. Like I said, I already signed to the Dodgers. I already got the hat. I'm ready to go.
And by the way, Randy Arozarena, love you. Shout out Team Mexico. But what the fuck, man? Can't be doing that. That photo that he just drops after all the Tampa Bay Rays and Dodgers trade rumors, and he's like, here's a picture of me and Shohei.
Yeah, for those that don't know, when the Dodgers Rays trade rumors started this morning, Randy Arozarena just casually put on his Instagram a picture of him and Ohtani dapping it up. And it was like, what? Like, and so that's guys in the league. If you don't think Yamamoto, like seriously, like his good buddy, like if you watch the World Baseball Classic after they won, like Ohtani and Yamamoto, like they found each other because they're boys. I don't understand why all people still think the Yankees are the favorite for him.
Because he named his dog Yankee Stadium.
Oh, it's back to the dogs.
Did we ever find out what Shohei's dog was?
Everyone's saying it's Dodger now.
I heard it was I heard it was Mookie, which is a great dog name.
I heard it was called Vin.
That is a good dog.
Here, Scully.
Silly, but Vin? It's just
Vin. That's a good dog. Chavez.
If I just don't, I keep seeing people. Oh, the Giants are in on him. Oh, the Yankees are the favorites for. How are the Yankees the favorites for him? How can you look at that report and be like, "Oh yeah, he's totally gonna not go with the Dodgers"?
What do you guys think? How much money do you think he's gonna sign for?
$300 million.
Deferred.
Do you think he's gonna top Garrett Cole's? I think Cole got 324.
I think it was just.
Yeah, I'm not.
I think he gets 3. I think he gets 3 because of the question mark of the transition from overseas over here.
That
there's a little bit of a tax he's going to have to pay for the credibility. Just happens.
His name is deferred.
But there's probably maybe they'll have some escalators in there for performance. Performance related. Escalators. And that would be pretty smart.
By the way, I think it was Drew who asked earlier. I have to admit, I did say last week that I was going to give an update on the free agent contest on Friday. But as we remember, that Friday morning was when Morosi was dropping the Ohtani tweets.
The flight.
I was paralyzed the entire day, just refreshing.
Langoliers. It was Langoliers Day.
I was just waiting for the Ohtani Blue Jays tweet, so I just did not pay attention at all to the Google form. I'll get it up eventually. Don't worry, guys. There'll be a winner and a lot of losers.
Mm-hmm.
Just like in the Shohei Ohtani.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going
a lot of Blue Jays and Cubs on that list.
Yeah. But I don't know. The whole Yamamoto thing, I'm with you, Fizz. I don't think I'd feel comfortable fully committing to a shit ton of money just because you don't know how it's going to carry over. But I mean, he carved up MLB players in the WBC, but I don't know.
Did he go to drive line in the offseason?
Yeah. Did he change his arm angle by a quarter of an inch?
His numbers in Japan are just so insane. It's not like, he was great. He was the best pitcher there. It's like, no, this dude was like the best pitcher of all time in Japan. It's
Although,
crazy.
did anyone guess 700 million for Ohtani in the?
I highly
I said 6. I know that.
do we want to be assholes and be like, actually, it's a 10-year, $460 million deal?
Did you
that might help people
And
more
you-
than
That
the return.
That's the only thing that anyone's going to get a point on. Or they'll get 10 years, but no one had 700 million.
But there is one person that had deferral on there, which is crazy. How did they do that? I don't know how they knew.
Yeah.
Well,
just
talking about the Dodgers and how they're going to
Right,
get
yeah.
everyone, they're about to get Glass now,
Sorry, so I did it
probably.
again.
Zoe, Dylan Cease, the Dodgers were a team that kept getting brought up in trade talks with the White Sox.
I'm good with it.
So
who
do you want now? The Orioles? The Orioles?
I've always been the Orioles. I've always wanted the Orioles. I think they can get the best return from the Orioles. I mean, technically, the Dodgers still could be like, fuck it, let's just go get Cease instead of Glass now, which I'd rather have Cease than Glass now. But I've always wanted it to be the Orioles from day one. I think they get the best return out of the Orioles. I would love, and I know you guys don't want to hear this, I would love to see Toronto land a guy like Bellinger, and then the Yankees already got Soto, because that's going to put the pressure more on the Orioles to beef up that rotation. And that's where the trade to Cease comes in.
I think it all comes down to a pivot, because I don't think that everybody is now going to be operating on the same strategy. I think now the pivot for the entire league is, what can we build on our roster that can match up well against the Dodgers? Like, it literally is like, what can you're going to have to beat the Dodgers to do this. And that's a juggernaut team. What kind of roster can you create that creates a good matchup? I think now all of a sudden the analytics do shift towards how do you beat the big dog. And I think that when you talk about the Orioles, for example, what about their game? Do they need to improve? They've got some things that actually can be look, good pitching will always be
pitching.
Yeah.
What up,
good pitching will always be good hitting. So get that, and Dodgers don't have a great staff still, by the way. So of course, adding these really help. I mean, in their case, they've got to put up 7 to win, and their bullpen is kind of dookie too. And they do have a poor bullpen manager in Dave Roberts, who also kind of sabotages them a little bit, kind of like David Ross did.
That's the thing. They're about to get Yamamoto. They're about to get Glass. They're going to go after Hader.
Hader now too. Jeez.
I think Hader's going to go. I think Hader ends up in either Atlanta or Texas, but still.
They cloned Goose Gossage in a lab.
From what I've seen of Hader, and I don't know if his friend's going to come back and yell at us in the comments, but I don't think
his eyes.
Hader fits really well in Southern California, but
who? Oh, Hader.
Yeah, he's not very open to.
I mean, he was in San Diego, pretty liberal.
Yeah, how'd that work out?
I mean, he was great.
He was good when he wanted.
He was great for himself.
To pick. Yeah, when he wanted.
Are you talking about his tweets from when he was 16 or whatever?
Was he 16? I just remember he was saying some wild racist shit.
Yeah, it was 2013. It was I
didn't know how old he was.
I think he was 17-year-old little shit. That was.
Well, Kevin, how would you feel if one of the big Cubs, obviously pitching side, not the offensive side, or we can argue the offensive side, if Josh Hader is one of their big moves?
The Cubs?
If the Cubs, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to have a guy like that shuts the door, you better have enough to get you to the point of where you're shutting the door. So
winning a lot of 2-1 games.
I'm not playing that game, man. Put up 7 and go home. That's
how. What was it? Just shit. Okay, had my train.
Yeah.
How big?
Be with more.
How big do you think the collective celebration is going to be throughout MLB fans when the Dodgers get booted in the divisional round?
The Shohei Ohtani signing with the Dodgers, and the Dodgers not saying like they're just going to go after every big free agent. Again, there's a reason fans are jealous. It's bitterness. It's why we're seeing the dumbass takes, in my opinion, of oh, that's too much money or whatever.
That's so stupid.
We're jealous of it because we know they're good. That's what we want our teams to be.
Don't you want to be in the playoffs? 14 of 20 years. My God, I'd love to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought this up because let's talk about this because I'm glad.
That being said, though, being a sports fan does mean that when there is one giant super team, you root your fucking heart out for them to lose and lose in glorious fashion.
Everybody rooted for the Heat to lose.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Because Bulls fans, hey, we
thought would have had Derrick Rose not tore his ACL.
Bulls fans were like, hey, LeBron, is he going to sign with us? That'd be great. Get him and Dwayne Wade and Derrick Rose. We're going to have our big 3. And guess what? If that would have happened, the Bulls would have been the hated team, but it didn't.
Yep.
He went to the Heat. They were the hated team, and we all hated them very strongly. Still do.
Mhm.
That's the same thing with the Dodgers. Love Shohei, great deal, good for you. Dodgers, that's what a winning organization does. I hope you guys lose.
Everyone takes
so
it,
bad.
Yeah, you want to beat the favorite, right? The favorite is the one that you always. It's the bullseye on your back. Dodgers are operating like they know they have a bullseye on their back, so they're like, we're going to shore up the giant army. We're going to be Xerxes basically here, and we're going to go ahead and just do it all. And hopefully these damn 300 Spartans don't show up in the playoffs and kick our ass and change things. But it's going to be, sooner or later they're going to get to the point where that talent is so robust that it's like playing an Olympic team versus like a Major League Olympic team versus like a college team. Eventually, it's going to be that way because that's so stacked. But baseball is so beautiful because a guy can go out there and just carve and shut everything down if he's got his shit that day. And, or maybe you get a couple clutch knocks, ground ball through, a little ground ball with eyes that scores a run after an error and a walk, and you beat somebody 1-0. That happens. But it's really hard in a 7-game series for an inferior talent team to overcome 7 games. And so that's going to be really interesting to watch. But I think teams are now going to pivot to how can I beat this team in a postseason? And it's going to be arms. And people are going to be this is going to be an arms race because you want the arms to shut down the offense. Pitching and defense will always defeat the offense, and it's going to always be that way. So now you got to load up and give yourself a 7-game series rotation and enough consistency to get yourself to the dance and then figure it out once you get there. But you got to get there.
Fitz, do me a favor. Block my Sox summer.
Is he drunk?
Oh, something's going on. But let's talk about that because we kind of brushed over it, but I wanted to talk about that. As soon as Ohtani signed and the dust settled and it was 10 years, $700, you're seeing people that have long respected careers like David Kaplan and all these other guys come out and be like, oh, geez. So glad the Cubs didn't do that.
We called it last week. We said as soon as Shohei doesn't sign with the Cubs, it'll be she wasn't that pretty anyway.
That is the biggest loser bullshit mentality I've ever seen in my life. You want your team to get the best players. It's not your money. It's your money coming out of your pocket when you have to go watch the bullshit on the field. So you want to go and watch the best players all the time. And then it turns out that the dude defers his contract and he leaves all this stuff. And like, it's not even like it's the biggest loser mentality I've ever heard. And then all of a sudden people are doing quick math. Like, oh, for that much, you could get this guy, and that guy. No, dude, stop.
That's what annoys me.
That was capping. That was capping, literally for Crane. It was cap.
Don't do that. You're
a clever name.
Voldemort. Oh, that is just terrible to me. I hate
growing up.
That's the biggest loser bullshit.
Yep.
Growing up as a Cubs fan in the late 90s, early 2000s, coming in age and like you start to become a diehard fan. And obviously, the history of these losers haven't won. They always choke. They're just known for losing. 2016 really did change the way I look at sports, not just the Cubs, but the other teams I root for. And it even goes before, and I think we mentioned it with LeBron when he signed with the Heat, and how everyone was like, oh, it's such fucking bullshit. He's just going to there, teaming up with other guys to win titles. Is that not why we root for our teams? Because we want to see them.
I want the White Sox to win the championship every year. I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, I know.
What else do you do?
You look at Patriots fans from in the last 2 decades. Do you think they care that they were the most hated team or whatever?
No,
because they kept winning.
Yeah, it's like cool.
Like, I don't get this thing, and I don't care how you. I know the Houston Astros fans, the whole cheating scandal. Do you think they care? No.
Nope.
If it happened for
make really stupid ass arguments online, but yeah,
or like the Brewers. The Brewers, they haven't
no
won
one cares.
World Series ever.
Look, Emperor Palpatine had rings. It's just like, I don't. You got to be the bad guy.
And I grew up in the age where like, you hate the Yankees because they always win. You hate Duke because they always win, and it's fun to root against like the.
I hate Duke for other reasons, but we can get into that. Do it.
But
fuck Duke.
But it's like you, as a sports fan, you eventually want to get to that point. I feel is the natural progression.
I want all of Major League Baseball to hate the White Sox.
Yes,
because they keep winning.
I remember 2017. 2017, after the Cubs won the World Series, I did that NWO video when they came out with the trophy at Wrigley.
Yep.
And
That was a good
everyone's
video.
like
You did- that
fucking
was good.
pissed. And I was like, yes, this is what because all my life
Yep.
up until that point, my team were just losers, choke
Lovable
job,
losers.
they would
That's
choke.
such a terrible phrase.
And now they're on the top of the world and everyone fucking hates them. Why? Because they're
Yep.
fucking great.
Yep.
How do we not just want that all the time?
They
I'm
hate
gonna-
us
hold
don't
on.
care.
because they ain't us.
And like,
Yeah,
I don't
I'm gonna
care
butt
if
in here
because
for
they
1 second,
bought-
although, because this
they
is kind of
bought
important.
championships.
Uh-oh. Cannonball?
No, number 25 ranked Northwestern's men's basketball team just lost to Chicago State at home.
Hey,
for those
doesn't
of you
they have
that-
who's their coach? I think
For those of you that aren't familiar with that, that is really, really bad for Northwestern. That is not only going to drop them out of the AP top 25, that might just kill them from March Madness. I mean, you don't lose to Chicago State.
well, if you do the transitive property, Northwestern beat Purdue, Chicago State beat Northwestern, Chicago State could beat Purdue.
Yep, there you go. I mean, that's why you play the game. But to finish, although I couldn't agree with you more, I would want nothing more in my fandom to have everyone in Major League Baseball hate the White Sox because they keep winning. Oh, they got a basketball team. A lot of dudes that get bounced from big universities go to Chicago State to get their shit back on. It's like second chance you D1 style. But it's it was absolutely wild to me. It was upsetting too to see the people that were doing it. And you're like, come on, you're better than this. Like, just some loser shit, though. Like, I get it. The White Sox suck. I know they suck. I fully understand and accept the fact that they suck. But you will never hear me be like, oh, I'm so glad we didn't sign the best player maybe in the history of the game because he cost too much money. It ain't my money. I don't give a fuck. Again, the only money I'm concerned about is the money coming out of my pocket. And right now, it's coming out of my pocket to watch dog shit. I'd rather the money come out of my pocket to watch the best player, arguably of all time.
And the other argument that people make is like, prices are going to go up. Guys, the prices are up already, baby.
Yeah,
You're still going to be paying $15 for your Miller Lite, regardless if you have
You're still gonna save a lot of money by getting blind drunk in the parking lot with the Chicago sports bums than going in there and fucking.
I bet you Philippe's gets a great bit of business now right there near Dodger Stadium with Shohei now because it's
I mean
that raise their prices too, probably, right? All these places will raise their prices.
This is wild to me though. I guess this is a rough week for me respecting sports media personalities because not only did people get duped by the Shohei thing. Then people started crying about, oh, I don't want that best player on my team. And then now you got Ken Rosenthal, who I really like Ken Rosenthal, going on AJ's show being like, people don't play for San Francisco because they got a homeless problem. What the fuck is going on?
You know,
like,
I was thinking about that Rosenthal
terrible.
San Francisco thing.
It's personal politics are starting to infiltrate how they report too. I think Rosenthal. That just tells me how Rosenthal kind of might be maybe where his consumption of media comes from as well.
I mean,
either that or someone from the Giants front office was like, Ken, we just lost Shohei. We just admitted that he agreed to the same terms with us, but he didn't sign with us. Give us something here. People think
heroin.
San Francisco shitty. Run with that.
Yeah. I mean,
but anybody that goes to San Francisco knows that that's bullshit. It's one of the most beautiful cities in America. That's the thing is. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Top 3 ballparks I've ever been to.
Yep, absolutely gorgeous.
Loves it.
Oh, yes,
but
and the food and everything. Like, there's literally like, hey, we got a bad part of town. You know, that's it. Like shit.
See, I would have respected it a lot more if he would have just came out and said this, Healy. Like, it's a bad hitting ballpark, which it is.
But
and it's an old team.
It's the bad hitting ballpark of the home run king of baseball.
Yeah,
I mean,
right? Like, it didn't bother Barry Bonds, and he was the home run king.
I am sure it didn't bother Barry Bonds, like the best hitter of all time.
Right?
I'm sure.
Challenge yourself. Don't be a bitch, Shohei. You're supposed to be the greatest of all time. No, just kidding.
I think I owe a big apology.
Now we know why Shohei wasn't interested in the cup.
He didn't want to. He didn't want to hit the ball into the bay. He just
but this all is just complete bullshit to me. Because then no one would play in New York. No one would play in Chicago. No one would play in Dallas. They got a huge crime rate. No one's playing in Tampa Bay, St. Pete. If you ever been to that stadium, you know where that's at.
That also tells me what those players are consuming media-wise. Then, if they think that that's true about San Francisco,
that is the
That's
biggest
what I'm saying, guys.
load of shit.
I agree with you. I think it's bullshit. I think
guys,
it's bullshit.
the players don't live down the block from the stadium.
But
that's the thing. Whatever their perception is becomes their reality, and unfortunately, we've seen that in other aspects of life, much more serious things. But
he thrives in San Francisco. Sorry. Oh,
it's just that's a wild argument for me. I'd much rather them blame the ballpark or blame that it is an old team or all this other stuff. Blame Canada. Well, a lot of people are right now, but blame Canada. But don't do that. That's just brutal. And if that's what people are telling them and they're just reporting what. And okay, so he says that agents and players have told him what players, what agents. I'm very curious what agent said my player turned down $300 million because they have a homeless problem. I would love to know which one that is. This is the biggest load of shit I've ever heard. Like, this is getting me frustrated now. That's terrible. Bad. It's just bad.
No, but again,
Buster Posey said it.
I think he's saying Buster Olney.
Buster Olney or Buster Posey?
Oh, well, if it's Buster Posey, then that's there you go, though. That's coming from within a Giants legend.
That's an
let me look that up.
brutal take.
Let me see this.
No, yeah, please. It was an article in The Athletic, and if that's true, Buster, that's fucking brutal, man. Oh, he was actually one of my favorite players. I know Olney said it. I heard that, and then Rosenthal repeated it, but that is a brutal, brutal way to look at things.
Yeah, it's really, really affecting the Niners. Really, really affecting them.
Yeah, and Golden State Warriors, man.
They can't keep talent. Yeah, they can't keep talent there.
Yeah, Golden State Warriors and the San Francisco 49ers.
Said, I can't wait to run my ass on out of here. He can't wait to get out of there. Look at.
But again, it's two issues, guys. I think we're focusing too much on whether it's true or not. I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue is what the outsiders think of it. Is what's holding their decision back.
I'm not changing my mind on this. That's just.
I think it's bullshit.
It's the biggest load of shit I've ever heard.
Yes.
If you said Detroit, I'd believe you. But San Francisco.
Yes, but come on. People all over the country believe in bullshit.
Yeah,
why are you holding baseball players to a high standard?
This is something you might not want to hear, this, guys, because it might make you look at your players differently. But I would say that 60 to 70% of Major League Baseball players, depending on the whatever, are watching Fox News more than they're wating other news networks.
Yeah, I don't really give a fuck about politics. It's just
but I'm saying that these guys. Yeah, I'll just put it that way.
If you're that dumb where someone's like, hey, man, we're going to give you $300 million, and you're like, nah, you guys have a crime problem here. I'm going to go play for New York.
I'm trying to find
less.
I'm trying to find the scientific study that said that baseball players are somewhat. I'm MIT grads here. They're wonderful baseball players. They're usually pretty decent, good people. But they're not the sharpest tools in the shed all the time. You might have a few.
Get it. And that goes not even just for baseball players. That's all professional
humans just in general.
I've said that on the show like 50 times through the 5 years we've done this show. Tell me your favorite athlete. I could probably find a story or a comment somewhere that proves he's a scumbag. You know what I mean? And it's just I don't know. That's just
point, Donnie. That's a great point. Donnie says
Buster Posey,
a
really good point.
San Francisco Giants executive who loves San Francisco so much that he left for Atlanta and came back because he and his family missed it. Dude, it's one of the most beautiful cities in America, man. It's gorgeous. And there's, you can walk. Literally, we walked for days. Like I'm saying, dude, we walked through the Tenderloin district. We walked through the area that everyone says is the worst place. Yes, I saw people fucked up, and there was homeless people. I saw a dude smoke heroin. I saw a guy with his fucking sweatpants down past his ass crack. You know where I also saw that? 20 minutes from my house here.
New York, LA, Las Vegas.
I saw it in fucking Austin,
Tampa.
Texas. I've seen it in Dallas. I've seen it in anywhere, man. it happens. But it's the weird stigma, and it's politically expedient that they create a narrative in some circles. The same way that Chicago, you can't take 2 steps outside near Comiskey, guaranteed rate field without dodging bullets. Like, I mean, God, I've been out there. I didn't feel like I didn't get shot at once. I was fucking pissed. What the hell?
I think it's weak. I think San Francisco might be piping that argument out there.
I got the Buster Posey quote.
What's the quote?
All right.
That's such a weak
This is from that article in The Athletic. Buster Posey. Something I think is noteworthy, something that unfortunately keeps popping up from players and even the players' wives, is that there is a bit of uneasiness with the city itself as far as the state of the city with crime, with drugs, Posey acknowledged. Whether that's all completely fair or not, perception is reality. It's a frustrating cycle, I think, and not just with baseball. Baseball is secondary to life and the important things in life, but as far as a free agent pursuit goes, I have seen that it does affect things. So yeah, he was just saying it's the perception.
I guess,
man, Hunter Pence fucking rode a scooter to work every day when he played in San Francisco. Let's stop this.
I guess he's
scooter,
got. He has specific examples in mind, but I'm just in my head. All I'm hearing is we can't get people to sign because we have a shitty farm system and an old ass team, and this team's going nowhere fast.
Yet again, like I said with the Rosenthal thing, that seemed like hey, we're the Giants. People don't want to sign with those. Get this narrative out. It's you, San Francisco.
Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah, it's your team, dude. Do
you remember when Hunter Pence's scooter got stolen, and then they said it was Hunter Pence, and then the next day it literally was back at the stadium, just kind of sitting out there, like someone dropped it off. Like, my bad, bro. I'll go grab that guy instead.
I mean,
Zoe, are you going to be scared to face Marcus Stroman for maybe 2 or 3 years?
Ooh,
no, I was actually kind of happy to see that.
Not official yet. Not official yet.
Not officially official. No, you can please clip that. Marcus Stroman, I will say it. I've said it before. I do not sweat Marcus Stroman in the AL Central. It's just
clip that. I think clip that, Mitch.
He it kind of shows you where he's valued in Major League Baseball right now with all of these great teams desperate for pitching, that he ends up on the Royals. It's kind of like,
and honestly,
unfortunately, it's going to be like when Tim Anderson ends
what
up.
If the Royals are leverage and he signs with like the.
Well, I was going to say maybe the Royals are leverage because I think so far the Royals have been like the only like named team that has been linked.
So many very good teams. Like, what the fuck? The Dodgers, the Yankees, the Orioles, the Diamondbacks. These are Padres. These are all really good teams that desperately need starting pitching. And homie ends up with the fucking Royals. Like that tell you.
Oh my God! Wait.
Whoa! Look at the outfit today.
Look at this sexy James Bond style.
How we doing?
Room. Oh my God!
Booth.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I've been swamped today. I actually had to do some like actual investigating on this story.
Think twice if you're not in like an escape room and you're trapped.
This is actually we record all the audio in here, but
cool.
No, it's kind of like an escape room or an insane asylum. I guess
you're not trafficked. You're not trafficked, right? Wiggle one ear if you're trafficked.
Like I don't think I can wiggle an ear.
And you're fucked.
Yeah. But
sorry.
What we're talking about, Mitch, is Stroman possibly going to the Royals after his Instagram post. And how
scared are you, Mitch, to face Marcus Stroman?
I'm not too concerned.
No, I'm not at all.
That weird 1-2 punch of Seth Lugo and Marcus Stroman, though. It's like,
I forgot they got Seth Lugo too. Jesus, what are the Royals doing?
Royals making moves.
You got to sell tickets somehow, Zoe. This is the headline. It'll be like Moneyball. They have like the banners they have to put up, like David.
Someone tell Chris gets that because Max Stassi is not getting me to go to 20 games this year.
We got KBO MVP, Fetty, baby.
Yeah,
baby.
But
that's all I'm saying.
What I'm saying is, with all again, the Dodgers, the Orioles, the fucking Diamondbacks, the Padres, all these good teams desperately need pitching, and Stroman ends up in Kansas City. That should tell you what Major League Baseball thinks of Marcus Stroman right now.
I know.
Unfortunately, unfortunately, I think I'm going to be saying the same thing when we see wherever TA ends up. because
You're right.
if he was really this big superstar that some of the people like to make it when he left, you'd think there'd be ink to paper by now. And I know the market's moving slowly, and I know it's only December and everything like that.
I can't even think of like a good fit. Like who's a good fit for Tim Anderson?
MSS says rumor is Ohtani deferred his contract so the Dodgers can still sign TA.
There you go.
It's actually one of the only good fits.
Well, Jed
But-
all of a sudden looks smart because like everyone's pounding the table. We gotta extend Stroman. We gotta extend Stroman, and now all of a sudden, kind of looks smart they didn't extend Stroman.
Yeah. No.
Also, depending on
Mitch,
I
that's a
don't know
ballsy thing to come on here and talk good about Judd.
I
I don't know
that's
what
one of
Stroman's
fucking-
going to get per year, and obviously he's going to get more than the guaranteed 20. I think it was going to be like 23 million from the Cubs or 21. Obviously, he's going to get that over multiple years. But like the average AAV on this deal is not. I don't think it's going to look so good for him either. That was a weird move. I think we hinted at it when he made the decision, but I think as much as the Cubs probably were like okay seeing him go, maybe he had his own issues with the Cubs. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what? He would have said it by now. You know what? That dude is very vocal. Maybe he'll. You know what? He might wait till he signs, and once he signs, then he'll be like, "Oh, by the way." So let's see. But usually he's pretty vocal with people he doesn't like. So I don't know.
It'd be a
Injury and then the
bold strategy
free
to do a blacked out Instagram story picture with the city motto of Kansas City in the bottom corner and then not sign there.
Right.
Like,
He did that. He went that far. I didn't see that.
yes.
Yeah.
That's what brought this all up, is because he did like this.
He did like the state motto.
Well, Mitch,
Just on his
I think
Instagram,
Missy's
it's like-
offer went up to
There we go.
$19.99.
That's me. Was it because of my tweet, Missy? Did I get you back into did I bring you back? I gotta
did
know.
you say Mitch was here.
Like, why I
But
screenshotted-
pro or against
I
Chubby?
screenshotted Agent Mitch.
Wait, say that again, Aldo? I didn't even hear what you said.
Pro or against Chubby Ass?
Ooh, do you
Oh,
love
I mean, you gotta have some curb, bro.
There you go. There you go.
There you go. There you go. That was a very smart answer because I was about to, eat a fucking cheeseburger. But
Yes.
yeah, I mean,
Influencing.
it's interesting though. I'm really hoping now though that the Ohtani thing is all said and done. The dust is cleared a little bit. That now we actually see a pretty active baseball market.
You know where I could see TA going? I could see him going to the Angels. They'll be like, we need a star now that Ohtani's gone. We got to sell some tickets. Former batting champion.
Ooh.
Here we go. A little TA action.
I didn't
That
even
would
pay
be-
attention. Can I? Alex just posted. Sorry, UNLV is winning by 15 right now. I literally was trying to not watch it because I was afraid they're going to get the shit.
Who
beat
they
out of them.
beat? Who they win? Who
They're
they
right now up 15 on number 6 Creighton.
Well, I mean,
great.
Chicago,
Number
like I
8.
said, Chicago State beat Northwestern at Northwestern, so
Oh.
anything can happen. But
Maloney used Misty Assad stuff. We did a whole doppelganger segment just with you, shirtless.
Baloney stopped listening after we said his doppelganger looked handsome. He Costanza the show. He was like, I'm taking that, I'm out. But if TA goes to the Angels, that is almost as bad as going to Japan, in my opinion, for him.
Oh, yeah. He'll be
That
forgotten.
that
He'll
is
be
brutal. Absolutely brutal. Do you guys think the Angels trade Mike Trout?
No.
Cubs.
I really think they're gonna.
They might.
He would take a massive package. I guess he probably, yeah.
Wait, finish that. Finish
Massive
that.
package.
Bring that
Finish
deal.
that.
No, you know why?
But that's what I'm saying, though.
As great as Mike Trout is and has been, he's been getting injured a lot lately.
And he's getting
Who's
older.
paying that much money with the contract and the amount of prospects he'd have to give up. Like, you're giving up
The
a lot.
The Yankees would or the Phillies would.
Not my money. Remember, not my money.
Exactly. I
Not
mean,
my
maybe
money.
they.
But I
maybe
know
they-
how these people operate.
Right, it's not our money, but we know how teams
Cubs,
operate.
Cubs will sell out Trout jerseys like they'll double what the Dodgers get if
They're not
Mike,
giving-
for example,
they're not
which like
giving
Cubs or the
free
Yankees or like a big market team. Ooh.
The Angels would have to get the Angels would basically have to cover so much of the
Yeah.
deal
they would have to eat a lot of it.
that it would just keep him because
You might as well. Yeah.
you
That's
might
the
as
only
well.
thing
Which
that
sucks for
happens.
him.
Oh,
Which sucks
oh,
for
yes.
him. He's
Because
fine.
this
But-
isn't like if this was
Doesn't
like
know-
2 years ago, like pre-injuries, it's like, hey, he's still a star. You still want him. Give us some of your top prospects. But like now,
So
You joke
that's
about the
thing.
30-year-old age thing, but he's past 30.
So you're the Angels GM. You take a step back and you look at your team, and you just lost Shohei Ohtani, whatever. You knew that was coming, which, by the way, you fucking fumbled that bag horribly. Why did you not trade him?
Bad move in retrospect.
That
Bad move.
horrible move in retrospect. I mean, he was never going back to the Angels, though. Like, I don't understand what his trainer thought. Anyways, so you screwed that up real bad. And now you take a step back and you look at your team, and it's not good. But you have a chip that you could probably, you'd have to eat some salary, but you could probably reload a little bit with said chip. I don't think it's completely out of the question that they try to trade him.
Look at the Nolan Arenado deal. The Rockies got like nothing from the Cardinals.
That was just
and
bad.
they had to pay
Yeah, I
them
think the Rockies
$50
just
million.
Yep.
I think the Rockies just fucked that up.
They had a reason. I don't know what the reason was though. Like, has anybody even like clarified what the rationale?
The Rockies are dumb. That's why.
Yeah, that's the only rationale there is, right? Thank God.
I thought it's because they didn't want to pay him. They were just being cheap.
Paid him.
Well, no, they had already paid him though. That was It made no sense.
That is
like
what the hell's going on there?
There's been no explanation of like what strategy is this? Bold strategy, Cotton.
I mean, you talk about fumbling the bag though. How do you not trade him? Oh my God.
This is what happens when we want our teams to go for it. They were still in the wild card race.
Yeah.
Talk about disappointing duos with like Trout and Ohtani. I would argue, I mean, not to that level, but like Goldschmidt and Arenado are like right up there because there's a time you could call Goldschmidt the best first baseman in the game, Arenado the best third baseman in the game. They haven't done anything with either of them.
They got losers. The Cardinals, I've always said.
The Angels had Rendon too. Remember when they got Rendon? Like it was those three, and Rendon was such a huge name. Like you were like, holy shit, the Angels mean business. But also their GM is a fucking moron. He's put a locker in the players' locker room that he likes to use to change before games. Jesus. Maybe it's possibly the people running the show that are toxic, and Shohei's like, yeah, bye.
The Los Angeles Angels are the perfect example that in baseball, you do need a balanced team. You can have all the star power that you want, and it could be 2-3 guys, but if you don't have a solid rotation, if you don't have a good bullpen, if you don't have at least a few other guys who can protect the hitters in the lineup, you're going to suck. And that's the Angels.
That's what I'm saying.
Pitching beats offense.
You got to do something, and that's why I don't think it's completely out of the realm to be like.
All right, so let's say a team like the Phillies, because that's the big team. Because he's
that's the hometown.
He loves the Eagles.
Yeah, he loves the Eagles. Blah, blah, blah.
So he can play center. So they can probably trade him their center fielder that they brought up. I think he had a solid rookie season. Like, who else are you sending over?
I'm not. I don't want to get too deep into the weeds in this. It was just more of a, do you think it's possible? And I think it's possible. I think it's a logical move. Well, yeah, but I just think it's a logical move.
Yeah, we can die tomorrow.
If I'm the
who was that agent who said, or the reporter? It was a reporter.
Or Mitch, one of you two. I want you guys to pitch Jerry, Mike Trout, and some sort of trade proposal for Mike Trout. I want you to pitch it to Jerry, because that Missy in here right now is like pulling at my heartstrings. Like, Jerry have a heart. Like, won't think about the women. Like,
Jerry, remember what it is?
I feel like the Sox should trade for him. So I want to hear you guys pitch Jerry. Give him an elevator pitch. Give him an elevator.
You remember what a great promotion Dollar Dog Wednesday was. Now imagine we get Mike Trout. We can have Trout Tuesdays now, and you can charge more than $1 because fish is expensive. People will buy it. Get Mike Trout. And the jersey sales.
Why are you doing? We're gonna get plugged too, Fids. Don't play that song too.
I'm paying attention to the time. Don't interrupt Mitch.
I can't pitch to that crap. That's not motivating me to give a good.
No, not at all. That's terrible pitch music.
Because you're pitching. Because pitching Trout to Jerry is sad.
If I was pitching this to Jet, you would have upbeat music, you asshole.
I was just
yeah. If I'm pitching this to Jerry, I'm walking in there being like, "Fuck this, let's go get a drink because this ain't happening."
So Jerry wants a smack in the face. Yeah, he's that. He needs some techno. There you go.
No,
Jerry, you want to win before you die? Mike Trout. He fits the White Sox mold. Injury prone. That's about it. He's good though, so I guess he really doesn't fit the White Sox mold.
When he plays, yeah. You got to think he's crazy frustrated too, though, because he ain't getting any
Yes.
younger. And the biggest knock on Trout when you talk to any moron that thinks he isn't great is, oh, what's he done in the playoffs? Come on, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Don't
But,
be
like,
stupid.
He did sign the contract. So how bad can you really feel for him?
Yeah, I know. But if you judge a baseball player on
His
whether
contract.
his postseason appearances, that's
I
the
just-
dumb. Oh my god,
And-
I'm just.
That's only fair for NBA stars and quarterbacks, in my opinion.
Look, hey,
You know,
Mitch, you said don't feel bad for him because he signed that contract, but dude, you got to feel some sympathy for a guy that thought he was buying into something and he was sold a bad deal of goods. Everybody gets sold a shit car and they can't drive that fucking shit. It breaks down
What
after
year
like
did?
Yeah,
right,
but like
as soon as
still
your
making
33,000 miles, whatever ends, or 36,000 miles ends, and it breaks down. That's
valid, but like I think the millions of dollars he's making kind of eases that a little bit.
See, but the thing is, these guys want to win, man. It does matter. Like you can't use that much money. It doesn't. Deion Sanders had all that money and almost drove his car off a freeway. Like it's not
So
about.
he got
it's
his
about, you guys want to win.
extension. He got his
Yeah, I'm gonna
extension.
say, when did he sign this?
Spring training
year was it?
2019, and by then they had been bad for 5 years in a row, or
Yeah,
4
but
years. in a row.
they had to have sold him a bag of goods, and like he had Ohtani on the team.
35
like-
million a year. He gets 35 million a year. Think about
I
that.
think that was right after they signed
That's a lot.
Rendon. or
That's
no.
What does that compare? What is that?
In the
Cody
playoffs,
Bellinger's about to. Is he Cody Bellinger? Is Cody Bellinger better than him, or Cody might get 30 million a year? Like you're talking about.
for 10 years.
Cody Bellinger is not better than Mike Trout.
Right. That's what I'm saying is
He'll get
in-
more.
in,
He'll
in,
get
in 2 more years, you're gonna look at his salary and going, there's like a dozen dudes in the league that have a $35 million contract, and they're not Mike Trout.
Here you go.
Goddamn.
I don't. Okay, so
You
I
guys-
don't think. So to answer your question, I don't think Mike Trout gets traded this offseason, but like obviously as he gets
No.
older. How many teams do you think Mike Trout ends up playing for?
2.
Only
3.
2?
2.
I can
3.
see him going like the Frank Thomas route, and like he just ends up
Yeah.
on like 3 random teams.
He's gonna hold on because Mike Trout only knows one thing in this world, and that's playing baseball.
Ball.
In golf. No, he's a golfer, dude.
Wait a minute, guys.
Loves golf.
So I'm looking at Ohtani's contract or whatever. We all know what the current one is. He didn't make shit when he was playing with Anaheim.
Well, yeah, he was still on the rookie or like the arbitration
mean,
scale record.
50
he
million
made-
endorsements. 50 million in endorsements a year.
I mean, I know he's
New
he
Balance.
made
Not now.
that was just surprising to me. I didn't realize how little money he made from his baseball contract. So that's probably why he deferred all this money. He's like, I don't give a
The
shit.
prohibitive
I don't-
cost was literally like the amount they had to pay to like be able to bid for him, right?
Yeah.
Because he wasn't like a guy like say Suzuki or like or Yamamoto or some of these guys that are getting signed. He was so young though that he
Mhm.
couldn't get like the actual free agent contract yet. That's why it seemed like I think teams were literally using their international free agent pool money, and we all know that those deals are like only a few $1 million. He could only make like a set amount.
Nobody expected him to also be so good on both sides of the baseball. Like, no, I think everybody probably was like, okay, he'll pick one or the other. So you got a DH or you got a starting pitcher, that's fine, or a closer. Nobody thought, holy crap, this guy could go out and win 12, 14 games a year and shut people down and still be one of the best, be the best hitter in baseball, really.
Do you guys see the 17-year-old in Japan
Yes.
that hits absolute tanks? Like he hit 146 home runs in like his 2 varsity high school seasons.
Was he
there.
playing a little league field?
No, he's dude. This kid
Shohei
is,
is,
Was he the one that had
Shohei is opening it
hold
up.
on. Let me finish.
Opening it up.
So the thing is with this kid is Shohei's dad is his coach, and this kid is doing something historical because he basically told the Japanese Pro League to go fucking scratch, and he's coming to America to go play college ball so he can get in the MLB quicker before he has to play all that bullshit mandatory time and get posted.
Dodgers are gonna get him.
Oh,
Dodgers are gonna-
he's been working with Mike Ohtani.
Dodgers are gonna get him somehow. Dodgers are gonna get him.
It's a KB joke. Sorry, I can make him.
But yeah, so it's a big
Right,
deal
right.
though. Like if I'll send you guys, I'll find the video, but this kid hits fucking bombs. He's built like Prince Fielder too.
Oh, maybe not him then. Well, there's a video of like some 17-year-old kid that like what does he bat right-handed or left-handed?
I'm trying to picture. I think it was lefty, but
he was like in the cage and he was like smoking balls, and he had this great like bat flip after the one. It was like he like tattooed one and he like whipped the bat. It was pretty cool.
The question
I
is
thought you
he
were talking
scared of
about-
San Francisco?
Maybe it depends on what
He's
news
scared of San
channel he's
Fran.
on.
Oh, it's true.
But yeah, it's
I thought
like
you were talking
but
about
it's
the
like
young pitcher.
It's like this big historical thing. Oh, here you go. Japanese high school phenom Rintaro Sasaki is doing something very uncommon. He told MVP to fuck off, and he's going to play college baseball. So now he can be in the major leagues in 3 years.
Yeah.
Instead of waiting 10 years and doing the mandatory time with the MPP. And the thing is, if this kid is successful,
It's gonna start happening more.
this is gonna start happening a lot more, and that's kind of wild. Oh my god!
You know what's funny? It's kinda funny. I have a former player, bless his heart.
Baloney.
So he's Japanese, and when he graduated after college, he went to Japan to play ball, right? Well, it's easier for him to play ball in Japan now. He can't even come back to the States now because of his.
I'm gonna put it on the screen.
Oh no! What did he do?
God.
Oh no!
Give me a minute because I have to do some stuff to get it up. Holy fuck! Go ahead.
Oh no! I just
continue.
It's much harder to come back to the United States and play professional baseball than it is to go to Japan to do this. So like, I'm literally you've got to deal with immigration. You've got to deal with getting your green card too because it's an employment thing, et cetera, et cetera. Poor Yodai, this poor guy. God bless him. He's the greatest kid ever. He got to go. He lived here his whole life, but parents never from Japan never registered him, so he went to play there, and then the U.S. wouldn't let him back in. He's still there now to this day. He's been playing, but being stuck there forced him to like live or die, and he's actually still playing in I think like a lower level Japanese thing. But it's harder to come to the States to play ball if you want to than it is there. So this is an interesting thing for a younger ball player pushing beyond that, because again, you come here and it doesn't work out, you're really kind of screwed because now you're behind back home too, and it's
and
tough.
I think the rumor is he's going to go play for LSU.
Oh, pitching's tough. I don't know.
UNLV
Good test though, Mitch. Good test.
Yeah. So hold on, I'm going to upload this. What belongs that week? Oh, brother. Come on, me and my computer are fighting when this show's over. But I have too many really stupid pictures saved on this computer. Oh, no, I got to delete something. Hold on. We have too many stupid pictures saved.
Yep.
Fizz, I deleted your picture of third base.
Oh no,
you son of a bitch! But who's going to play there?
Christopher.
Oh, there you go. Ready?
Oh my gosh, that needs to be. He posted on social media.
Such a perfect angle.
I got it in my DM too. Oh, so saved. So saved.
There's no table in here. I have to have this stupid thing on my lap. So yeah, I did like the angle.
Thank you so much. Oh, just save as. Yep. We're gonna name it Mitch.
Oh, I put Mitch Booth.
February calendar
the
picture.
NASCAR season's over, because if that popped up during a NASCAR minute, I definitely would have lost.
Okay,
12
months
that's
of
Mitch.
Mitch. What month would you prefer that picture to air on your calendar?
Shout out Elsa Jean.
That seems very July.
Very July. I'm going to put July. There we go. 12 months of Mitch, July. We got it. Fireworks, really, right? Fireworks.
I don't know. I got to find this kid's video because I want you guys to see him hitting. He just is insane.
That's funny.
Absolutely insane. And I don't know, Mitch, where do you think Yamamoto ends up after all the bullshit? I know where he's going, but you could tell me where you think he's going.
You know where he's going? Well, then why even make me make
I'm just curious. I'm curious. I know where he's
I think I'll say the Yankees just spent all that money. I don't know. I feel like it's San Francisco or New York. Oh, Dodgers. Yeah, same thing. Oh, yeah. I guess that would make sense. Yeah, we'll go.
He had a meeting yesterday with the Dodgers, and they put him in a room with Shohei, Mookie, and Freddie Freeman.
Oh, it's over. Yeah,
he ain't leaving.
Yeah,
it's done.
How mad is Steve Cohen after his private jet meeting in Japan?
Good job, Drew. Yeah.
And then a week later, Dodgers get a tie and then get a meeting with Yamamoto. It's like, hey, buddy.
How much money are you
in LA?
Yeah. Hey, congrats, Drew. First one's always the toughest, bud.
There you go.
But,
Mitch, Dylan Cease.
Yeah. Oh, there
Who's
you
he
go.
getting traded to?
I still, well, if they're getting Yamamoto, so the Dodgers were my front runners, but if they're getting Yamamoto, I don't think they're going to be in the market for Cease. So I'll say, I think Baltimore still, because Baltimore doesn't want to spend money in free agency. They got the farm system to do it. I think that one makes the most sense. So we'll go.
Yes, and I agree with you, Mitch, and that's where I want him to go. And also now there's all these rumors that the Blue Jays, since they missed out on Ohtani, they're in on Bellinger, they're in on Christian Yelich, they're in on all these. If the Blue Jays get another big bat, and the Yankees have already added Juan Soto, the Orioles need pitching, or they're going to get absolutely smoked in that division. Shout out to GD or Grandiles, whatever burner on Twitter for instantly tweeting out the video of Dylan Cease striking out Juan Soto with a nasty curveball and just being like, "Yo, Orioles!"
Well
Like,
done.
that was awesome.
Well done.
That was beautiful. I couldn't retweet that fast enough. That was amazing. But yeah, I can't believe we didn't get a. Okay.
How mad are you going to be at the Orioles when they don't trade for Cease again?
It's going to be funny because then I'm going to laugh in their demise because they're
Like,
going to be
they
like,
just
"Oh,
don't.
I can't
They
believe
haven't
we're not.
made.
We need pitching."
What's their
Yeah, like-
last big deal?
When was the last time they were in this situation?
They
Like
have been in for
2014, 2015. They were a
was it
playoff team.
16 because the Batista bat flip.
Yes, the wild card game. Yeah.
That's what
They are one of the best young. The key emphasis on the word young teams in baseball, though. They can have
spelled with a J.
But they also have cheap ass owners.
That's true.
a long
But they can-
package to send the Sox.
Chris Fun fact: Chris Davis is making more money this year than Ohtani. But they can have such a great. Everybody wants to talk about windows. They can have such a long tenure of success if they would just make a couple moves for pitching. They should have learned their lesson at the deadline last season when they passed on Cease and went. Who they get that sucked?
I think it was a Flaherty from the Cardinals.
Flaherty. And he fucking sucked. And learn, dude. I want the Orioles to be good. I really, really want the Orioles to be good.
They're
I
fun.
like-
Who doesn't
yeah.
like it? I mean, come on, that's
I mean,
a good
Gunnar Henderson, Adley Rutschman. I really want those kids to see success. I want them to be good. Hopefully they learn by getting, because they got fucking smoked in the playoffs. You need pitching, kids. You need pitching. And-
Liam Hendricks to the Cubs. Maybe thoughts.
Good for
I would
him.
hate that. I mean, yeah, good for Liam. I'm not going to root against him.
Mitch.
I would still hate it. Like, I still don't want to see him on north side of town. Absolutely.
Get paid. I don't think he's playing it this year. I know he likes to he's like the ultimate competitor, and I know he really wants to get back on the field. I just if anything, I hope he doesn't push it to get back on the field because he wants it so bad that he injures himself more permanently.
Yeah, I think that when that story came out from Scott Merkin, he was like, "Yeah, I'm trying to get back by the trade deadline, which would be the end of July of 2024, which would be less than a year after his
You need
Tommy
all the
John
windows.
surgery." I think once he signs, whoever the team he signs with is like, "Hey, Liam, chill. We want you for 2025. Just rehab with us, and we'll see what you."
And the other thing is, I hope whoever signs them doesn't try to like trot him out like a Make-A-Wish kid.
Right.
Like-
yeah. Like he actually has a role.
Don't do that shit. Like,
Yeah, they make him wear. Never mind.
The
you know what I mean?
Angels-
Like,
Angels
yeah,
sign
it's
him.
like the big like.
Royals.
I get wanting to do a
The
good thing for a
Pirates.
serious cause,
Pirates.
but there's a way to do it, and there's a way to really fuck it up. And my thing I'd be nervous about is a team kind of really fucking it up. You
It's
know
true.
what I mean?
Cubs might buy and sell. Like say, oh look, he's coming back.
Oh,
He's
that's the other
Chicago.
thing.
Ooh,
Since you guys-
Johnny, that's a
Since we're
Cubs.
back on the Cubs,
Hmm.
I guess everyone's favorite reporter in Chicago, Hector Gomez, tweeted out that Christopher Morel is absolutely tearing up the league down there right now.
Yes.
He's playing in like a
Yeah.
Dominican Winter League or something
He
like
was
that.
supposed to work at first
not
base,
good
and he's
for-
been playing third the whole time. That's really
Yeah.
He's great.
if you
But
can
he's
figure
hitting-
out
Fantastic news.
Like
figure
Cattle
out the
for
defense.
something like that.
If he can figure out the defense is the fucking problem. Like, I don't want him at third base if he can't figure that shit out. He is bad, like historically bad at third base.
All right, gentlemen, I got to bounce. I'll be back. If you're still going in 15 minutes, then maybe I'll be back. Huh?
I'm going to still be going.
Elsa Gina's back.
Still going.
Sure, I'm going to be still going in 30 minutes thanks to this picture. And then after that, about 4 seconds. But still, it happens.
Mitch is running right now to his
so mad right
now. We didn't film a show tonight. We didn't do a show. Definitely don't watch.
I think he's running to go like call a lawyer to get a restraining order on Baloney for that picture.
But
could ruin his career right there.
The video that Hector tweeted out, I mean, Morel just hit a fucking nuke.
He hits bombs.
He hits nukes, dude. He hits the piss out of the ball. He just doesn't exist from August on out. That's his problem.
It's not true. I looked at his numbers. September, he was still good.
Pumping up that trade value, dude.
4 times, bro. Didn't he? He barely played in September this year.
He had 7 home runs, had a 131 WRC plus. It's pretty solid. His average was low.
How many games?
But, I don't know, like 20.
Okay, he played.
All right. Because his stats, everything else.
No, he was shit in August. August, he was terrible.
He would
no denying that. He was shit.
He's Patrick Wisdom. He's been Patrick Wisdom. But he's younger. So Patrick Wisdom's fucking 87. He's Gandalf.
Damn, Fitz. Did you put any money on your boys tonight?
I didn't, dude. No, man. I didn't even
they were plus 680.
Oh no.
Well, I mean, I don't.
I know. You don't make that bet. No one made that. Like,
yeah, like the worst bet. I did bet Bears money line on Sunday against the Lions, but
that I did too.
I'm
on an NFL heater, but basketball is just draining my account.
I think I bet UNLV, their football team. I think they lost. How many times did they lose this year? 3 times? Only 3 times?
Mm-hmm.
I bet on them 2 times. 2 of those.
I was hot. So dude, our friends,
they score.
Our friends, the sports bums had Luke and Svo on there, the college football guys talking about, and the disrespect they showed to Liberty made me very. Do you know how much money?
I mean, no. What is Liberty's team? What are they? The Liberty what?
They're like the Patriots or something.
Aren't they the Patriots? Right. That was my first.
In my gambling group text, we always use the GIF of a Statue of Liberty.
They're the Flames. Flames. They're the Flames.
That makes sense, but
there's no R in there.
I love Liberty, dude. They were always like dogs or plus money line, and they just kept winning every game. It was awesome.
Well, back in the day, there was like a 4-year stretch where you could bet against New Mexico or New Mexico State in football, and it was like an ATM. Yeah, that's good. That's like being my Buffalo slot the other day. I put $20 in, won $725.
Oh, I fully do, Baloney. I fully do.
Nothing.
And for the future, bet on Liberty. And it used to be Coastal Carolina, but then they took it shit. Those are my ponies.
I have 2 friends, actually. 2 friends that got kicked out of Liberty. Way to go, boys.
That's a weird school, though, isn't it? Like, they are it's like a BYU vibe.
It's Jerry Falwell School. It's as a pastor's kid. My dad was like, hell no, you're not going there. my best friend's brother played there, and he was one of the ones kicked out. So, yeah. It's
a lot of docking and shit.
A lot of so look here, full disclosure, I went to Judson University in Elgin, right? We had a rule too in the dorm. You couldn't have a female. You could only have females in the dorm from a certain time on Friday and Saturday nights. They had to sign in. You had to have your door open and 1 foot on the floor at all times. That was, and they would come.
That is some BYU shit. What is it?
And 1 foot on the floor.
Stupid motherfuckers don't realize that if you're just fucking on the floor, no one gives a shit because you got both feet on the floor. Anyway, but no, Judson was.
How did they enforce? Did like someone come in your room and be like, "Yo,
bro"? They walked up and down the hall.
On the floor.
They had to do that. Literally logged like miles of steps just to peek in on everyone's door every like fucking 10 minutes. It was.
Did your doors have lock on
them?
Did the doors have locks on them?
But we had to keep the doors open. So they signed in. You had to have the doors open. Actually, I had 2 friends that were suspended because they had girls in their dorm and the doors closed. Like literally, it was 1 foot on the floor, door open.
Brutal, dude.
Oh yeah, it was bad. They had to go downstairs to go to the bathroom too. So like you had a bathroom right there, but they had to go out the door into the stairs or elevator and then down to the. Oof. Hey, Liberty is even worse. Like even worse. So
yeah, there's a documentary on like Hulu or something about Liberty.
Oh yeah, the dude that like the son that took a bunch of money and then, like they were having threesomes and
Clayton Kershaw wants to play next year.
Sock.
He's not sure where he'll pitch next season. Stop it. You're never leaving the Dodgers.
I think the Dodgers are like, see ya, buddy.
No, there's no way. He seems like the type of guy to me, because how bad that ended for him, that the Dodgers would be like, we'll give you 1 year, $1 million. And it'll be like, to play on this team, to get a chance to get another ring.
Did he get
Yes,
another
I'm here.
surgery? Is he going to be out for a while?
He said he'll be ready to go midsummer.
Okay.
That
That makes more sense.
So maybe he sits back and waits till
like past the
see
trade
who-
deadline. Or up
see
to the
who
trade
needs
deadline.
it.
Judson,
Right.
baloney. Judson.
It's in Elgin.
Yeah.
Oof. One dead is brutal. I'm sorry you went.
You want to
through
hear
that,
some
man.
funny, crazy stuff too?
I'm not
Adoniram
sure I wanna
Judson.
hear about that shit.
So Adoniram Judson, who's the namesake of the school, happened to be a missionary in China with
Physician?
my great grandpa Fiddler. Like literally,
And they invented.
apparently knew each other even back in the day, and I didn't know that. I went there for other reasons because it was baseball. But
Did they come up with the 1 foot on the floor rule?
no, that would just be like literally they finally allowed women in. I think like in the 80s.
That's
probably.
weird, dude.
Like
Giannis
2020.
Right?
Damn, Josh just dropped 64.
But hey, good baseball school. Still gonna say it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've heard of this school. Like, it's a pretty good baseball school, isn't it?
We were the me and my friend Stan, what up, Stash? We're the first 2 official recruits of the first recruit era of Judson. It was like if you went to Judson and you wanted to play baseball, you could play baseball. Like it wasn't that we were the first 2 recruits they ever actually like had an actual.
I got you.
And so it was pretty cool. Like it was neat. And
Back in 1972.
yeah, but they grew. Like when I got there, we were decent my freshman year. We lost fucking like 35 games my sophomore year. It was terrible. And then my junior year, 500, and then senior year just kept going. And then after I graduated, the guy that took over was from Olivet Nazarene down south, and he killed it. And
That's a good football school.
an absolute, they became an NAIA.
I feel
juggernaut.
like they're another 1 foot on the ground school.
Yep.
Yep, they are. I'm gonna say Kopech. Jerry said, "Who logs more innings as a starter in 2024, Kershaw or Kopech?"
I hope. I mean, for the
I
Sox
really
thing,
hope it's
Kopech.
Kopech. I really hope it's Kopech.
But Kershaw, I don't know.
I mean,
So I went to
Kershaw
school.
might only make 12 starts.
I went to school in Central Florida, St. Leo University. It's like a D3 school, but it's like a baseball hideout school where they draft the kids out of high school and then they put them in that school. So there's no football team. So baseball players thought they ran the school, which was fucking annoying as shit.
Soccer for us.
There
National
was
soccer.
a couple of dudes that went to the major leagues, and one of them, and I'll never forget the story. So I'm down there. It's right outside of Tampa, like a little bit north of Tampa. But you guys remember Bronson Arroyo?
Mhm.
Yes.
Great.
White dude with
hair.
cornrows.
Yeah.
He went to St. Leo, and
All right.
yeah, exactly.
Southern
And
Florida. Hey, let's go.
He came back for
Remember
like a alumni day or whatever, and he was, he did the thing where he went to practice and whatever, all that other bullshit. But the baseball players were at that time the only people at the school that was allowed to live off campus. Like they had apartment buildings on campus, but you couldn't like have a house off campus.
Judson, you had to be a junior, by the way, to live off campus. You were forced to live on campus for 2 years. And then you had to get a permission. You had to do a hearing to explain why you wanted to live. Yeah,
the big parties were always at the baseball house. And I remember we went to the baseball house that night and Bronson Arroyo was there. And like, whatever, people are making a big deal of it. I don't really give a shit. And he was charging people $10 a pop to take a picture with him at a college party.
Oh, what a loser.
I do that.
I've heard stories about Tony Romo pulling that shit too.
Tony
Pete
Romo
Rose
has a
will fucking
terrible
stab
rep
you.
at EIU.
Yeah,
Pete Rose will stab you if you take a picture with him without and not give him like at least 40.
I mean, bro, granted, a lot of people that I went to school with are from Massachusetts and New York, and Bronson Arroyo obviously made his name as a Red Sox, but the level, the douche knobness was off the charts, dude. It was.
This is what I said earlier. 60 to 65% of Major League Baseball players are Bronson Arroyo. I'm sorry. I love them. I do. And I coach them and I love them to death. I love But let's be honest. Yeah, they love country music.
I think it depended on who you were, Jerry. To be honest with you, I don't really remember.
Or they're just no, that's a ball player, man. They're your school is like, so Judson. We had the soccer players. They won nationals, NCCAA, which is even worse. It's the National Christian College Association, Athletic Association. So they were the best religious school in the country soccer wise, and they were the most insufferable people on campus.
Mm-hmm.
But that happens again. But when you're at a small school, Bronson Arroyo is huge.
We said it all the time. We said it all the time. I wish the school had a football team just so they can keep the baseball team in check. But
that's
toward my senior year is when they first got lacrosse, and then those were some pretty good fights.
Lacrosse is cool though, man. Those guys are fucking badasses. They're like hockey players.
Fights.
Yeah,
I didn't play.
I respect lacrosse players. Soccer players, sorry, baloney.
We had a really good soccer team. We hosted NCAA D2 tournament games. I remember because you could see the soccer field from the balcony of my apartment, and we were just yelling shit out of bullhorns and being real drunk.
Well, yeah, we should
that's talking soccer.
It reminds me of when we played at Aurora University, and we had this guy Antoine Tucker, who was one of the greatest dudes ever. He might have shit his pants as a catcher one time. We won't talk about that, but he was an awesome dude.
More about that.
And anyway, Antoine played outfield. He was a left fielder, center fielder, and we were playing at Aurora College, and he looks just like Gary Matthews, like the former Cubs outfielder. And the whole game they were chanting Sarge. And so Aurora University, also a very good baseball school, Division III, like you mentioned. Anyway, that just brought up the Antoine because I was thinking about good fans that are like drunk in the outfield. Aurora, you could literally, the dorm overlooks the field, so these drunk asses were all yelling it out of their window, looking at the field. So it was when you were.
We got a bed sheet and used shoe polish and put our room number in. There was a party up there and hung it out the balcony, and a lot of people came up. It was a good time.
Did you really? Nice.
Yep. It's a good time. And then to get everybody to leave, I got up on the counter in the kitchen and said, "If you could tell me my real first name, you can stay." Everyone knew me as Zoe. So there was about 10 people left after that. It was awesome. It was great. It worked.
The stuff we pulled. Look, sorry, Aldo. I know you're a little bit younger, but the shit we pulled in college in the 90s, in the early 2000s.
I was gonna say, whoa, 90s, slow.
I had to throw in that early 2000s. I mean, still, gas was 99 cents a gallon still, but
I
was able to. Never mind.
So when Mitch comes back, just tell him we kept this on the screen the whole time.
And so remember that when Mitch told us that was real?
How'd it go, Mitch? You do good work?
I think so. Sometimes in this job, you're basically doing public relations. Today was one where we actually did some digging and, felt like earned the title of Big J journalist today. So
I'm sure you did, Mitch.
And Mitch, when you were in college, did you have to keep one foot on the floor at all times?
Huh? I don't know if I want to.
Sorry.
Oh, this is where the show's gone. It's always around the 2-hour mark too.
Where'd you go to school again, Mitch? You went to
Bradley.
No, you didn't have to. I know. Been to Bradley. You don't have to do that at Bradley. I can tell you that. Sorry.
Yep.
Zoe had some feet around his neck.
You can Buck Fradley. Is what it is. Muck Fradley.
No comment.
That's what her shirt said.
Oh, and Zoe. St. Louis.
Mitch, what was college like last year?
It was a blast, I tell you. A lot of keg parties. I think my biggest accomplishment in college, 30-second keg stand one time. It was pretty damn impressive.
Oh, there you go.
Are Borgs that prominent?
What lasted longer?
They were disgusting, though. I did a Borg once, and it was the worst thing ever.
Missy needs to do a Borg for the 108.
They're gross.
Daily Borgs.
I still don't really know what Borgs are.
You get like a gallon of like water or like milk, and then they empty it halfway, and you put basically Kool-Aid, like an or what was it? Like a caffeine packet too, and then you put whatever alcohol you want, you mix it in.
And hard alcohol, like you put hard alcohol. It's like 1/3
So
hard alcohol.
You just label it, and then you just walk around the party with holding a milk carton.
It's usually more of like a pregame type situation. But then, like for us, like if we had an exchange with a sorority that we didn't like or thought was ugly, then everyone would pregame with Borgs, and then they just show up absolutely hammered, and then it'd be a good time.
Yep, there needs to be more Borging in the 108.
I disagree.
Yeah, this just doesn't.
It's a very slow brow.
Jungle juice. It's jungle juice. There you go. Jungle juice.
That was right up there with Edward 40 hands, where you'd like tape the 240s to your hand. And
what are you judging that for?
But then the one guy, like the problem is if you had to use the bathroom, then you had 2 jugs in your hand. You could,
I was good at Edward 40 hands. I've never.
That first 40 minutes. It's not that hard.
I can say I've never experienced the Borg.
No, I
never
do a Borg.
They get you really drunk, like really fat. It's not good. So when I was
hangover, right? There's no hangover.
I'm looking at all these pictures, and I'm just picturing myself ending up in jail because I'm going to beat someone up because I'm going to drink a milk.
There's Pedialyte in there, right? Pedialyte and
Pedialyte and
you don't get hungover from it. It's just like it's like
the problem is you get drunk so fast. I remember when I was president of the SIGEP Illinois Delta. Shameless plug. But I was out the weekend off. I was going to the Nebraska-Wisconsin game. I was taking like a road trip. And like, so I get a call in the middle of the night. Like, hey, we had a Borg party. Grant cracked his head open. He's in the hospital. You're like, you got to get back down here. It's like, God damn it. Like, this is what happens when people drink Borg. Just stupid shit.
That happens without Borg. So.
Yeah. We called that, again, just, Saturday night kicker.
I think, Jerry said it in the comments. Thank God.
Yep.
The only cameras at those parties were disposable ones.
Stomp on that shit too. You see that person with that flash and you hear the zip, zip, zip.
I
zip,
could
zip,
not
like,
agree more, dude.
Fucking out.
When I was in college, I think Snapchat was the big app at the time. Looking back that next morning at your Snapchat story, oh, buddy.
My freshman year of college, I did not have a Snapchat in high school. I thought the app was stupid, did not want to get it. But then it became a problem. Because, like, you're trying to pick up chicks. They don't want your Gmail account. And I guess they don't want your problem. So, like, I found that out.
Your problem, the problem is
you high school chicks. That's not great. That's not a good one.
The problem is you use the term pick up chicks.
Well,
that'd be your first problem.
Well, and the Gmail account.
I'm down, but
I'm in.
We'd have to set these 3 don't.
I don't know about the other 2. Like, we can handle this. I don't know about the.
Are we doing 24 or 30s?
Shorters.
Well, first of all, they have Dougie, so we need a ring.
Yeah. Well,
wait. I mean, he needs to do like a 24 on his own.
Let me tell you, we'll be good.
Ooh.
We'll have
he may not have a beard, but he has a liver, and it's young and it's ready.
Dougie will be he'll be the best one on the field, but we're gonna have more depth. That's all I'm saying.
That's true. I think that we do have that. I think we can. I think that. I feel like Bologna would be like. We'll get the bubbles.
Okay.
No. The bum boys can drink. I can vouch for that.
One rule. Wait, I don't know how we enforce this.
I'll drink beer for that.
But I think we can stay in it if we do a no chugging rule.
What does that mean?
You can't just chug. You just got to drink normal pace.
What if you're someone that's like awkward in public and they have to like really drink really fast, which it leads to more drinking? Because that's kind of what happens to me.
It's a race.
Drink by drink, no chug. No, it's no chugging though. You got to because we're doing a live stream. We have to converse.
I understand that you're trying to even the playing field because Dougie is a machine, but
he's a machine.
Let him have a machine. You know who else had a machine? The Angels and Shohei Ohtani.
Someone put that on the shirt.
Hold on, don't remove that.
I drink every day. That's fantastic. Yeah, the speed walking.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. You guys have seen a good podcasting case race. The Yak has done it. No chug rule.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay. I mean, I'd be down. I just gotta clear my calendar for like.
I think you
4
can have
days.
a chugging rule, just no yakking rule. Like if you yak, because that would be, the penalty.
Yeah, and that's promoting. I think technically we can't do that at all on YouTube.
Okay.
I don't think Yeah. I don't think you can like throw up and be like, I'm back in, because I think that promotes irresponsible drinking.
I haven't done it in a long time, but I am a big boot and rally guy.
Yeah, I never threw up in college from drinking. That was
I don't throw up.
outing accomplishment.
Big boot and rally guy. Big boot and rally guy.
I just my problem is I just don't stop, and they just until it's bedtime or night.
Yeah, that's why I was telling you don't bring up the puking part, because I'm probably gonna puke.
Puking is a disqualification, though.
It should be like
See,
an official case race.
No,
you should have
I've
to hold
done it
at least an hour after. At least an hour after.
No, we never had that. Like once it was over, you could puke.
Okay,
but,
I have a great. Okay, good rule. Good rule.
I gotta have like a rule after. Like you've got to be able to hang that shit down. You got to hold it.
Forget about
Quick baseball talk, Donnie. No,
the Cubs are out on Yamamoto.
I'd say yes after a few more Borgs.
Asked and answered. Maybe if Yamamoto has to do a case race on his own and he accepts like $40 from the Cubs. There is a limit to how many beers we can drink. So you can chug them, you can do it fast, but like each person has to do 6. You can't do more. You can keep drinking, but they don't count towards your team's total. So we don't have just like one guy chugging 15 beers.
How is it working? I thought it was just gonna be like a time, like an hour, whoever finishes more.
Yeah,
I think it's a race to finish the case.
Okay.
We'll iron this out offline. And by the way, as a career boot and rally guy, you won't even know that I puked. I guarantee you won't even know.
I don't know.
I'll be like, I gotta go take a piss, and I'll just. Well, here's the thing. The Irish part of me, I turn bright red after the first sip of booze. So, like, even if you think my face gets flushed,
probable cause statement. Zoe was throwing up in the bathroom between rounds.
Yep.
No.
I mean, we can do like
prove it.
Other rules could be no piss breaks.
No, that's dumb.
I'm out there too. I'm out there too.
No, absolutely not. Let's do
Fitz, take it off crotch cam. There you go.
How come Fitz gets
my balls?
Get mean.
Yeah, as soon as I take after that first drink, I'm just bright red. But yeah, I mean, it's real easy. I'll just be like, hey, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll go in the bathroom and just go bat.
No.
Respect. Off day Friday, Saturday.
The spirit of the game. Respect it. No puking.
I mean, Southside Bum and Mitch, you guys can just do a one-on-one if you want.
Yeah, one-on-one battle.
Do it a live stream.
I got shits to do.
Off?
Well, tomorrow's a Thursday. I can't do it tomorrow.
Wait, here's a great quote for everyone. Diamondbacks owner Ken Kendrick on Shohei Ohtani. Last I looked, he's 1 of 9. And that's the last I also looked. He's a designated hitter. He's a great player. Is he the second coming? I would suggest not. Loser.
Oh, we got some talking shit from Arizona.
Loser.
Shohei is gonna fucking shove it his first start against the
Loser
Diamondbacks.
talk.
Out in Japanese and hang it in his locker the first day, and you are bye-bye.
First of all, this guy looks like he's 98 years old.
Yeah, what the hell is his name? Kenny Kendrick?
Kenny Kendrick.
Who's a young, spry-looking owner? They really all kind of look like they're not.
Good point. And that could be one of the problems.
Who is the owner?
How did this guy get his money?
San Diego now, I guess. Oops.
Meth.
He doesn't look like a big meth guy. Occupation, businessman.
Well,
Founder of DataTel Inc. He founded.
He's one of those fuckers that like steals our stuff from Facebook and like resells.
DataTel.
John Sherman.
Higher
John
education.
Sherman. Oh, actually, you know who the youngest owner in Major League Baseball is?
Who that?
Patrick Mahomes.
No.
Yeah, he owns part of the Royals. Does he cry about good strikes being called too?
Hey, I will defend this. Anybody that's played football from Pee Wee League on up, the line judge usually, when you point, they point. They didn't. They held it. Whatever. You know what? They spoke up against the league after the Packers game, and they got punished. And that happens. Happened to Fluss, even.
This company that Kenny Kendrick owns is the most made-up name I've ever seen. DataTel?
Who the fuck in this group uses y'all, by the way? That's a good secret. I don't use the word y'all.
You're the one that did that.
I didn't do that.
I didn't do it.
Too. Oh, someone's writing from. Is it Burr Hands?
Burhan's or Eastman. That's Eastman.
East.
That's easy. And by the way, East can outdrink all four of us.
Yeah.
Our fifth host, the fifth host of Pinwheels and Ivy.
I can tell you from being friends with him since I was 10, 12 years old, East is a goddamn machine.
War games, 5-on-5.
He just had a birthday.
Put him on the roster. Add some depth. We're gonna play the system like the Dodgers.
Did East
and then we can
I don't think you guys are hearing me. You guys are hearing me say he's a machine, but I don't think you're like really comprehending what I'm saying. Like the man,
he's the guy.
Yeah, he's gonna help us win this drinking.
No, he's not gonna help. He's the literal plow, right? I'm hearing this right?
Oh, you're saying he stinks?
No, he's literally he's the MJ.
Yeah, okay. So then what's the issue here? Why can't we get him on as a ringer? Like that's what I'm hearing. He's gonna help us win this competition.
This is a big don't threaten him with a good time type thing.
I love it.
He would join in a heartbeat.
Or he can train us.
But do we not want to win this thing? Do you want to
win?
Palms?
I mean, I could fake like ulcer or something, and you guys can have East take my spot. And
do you remember at the end of back to school when
yeah
he's got a calf cramp, and then it leads to the triple lending, like
or in Caddyshack. Oh, my arm. He needs to golf for me. No, I think you guys vastly under.
Did East just have a birthday? Correct.
Yes.
Happy birthday, East. It was like what, a week
no,
and a half, 2 weeks,
over a month ago.
Well, a little bit late on that than East. Sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
Still a beast.
Happy early 2024 birthday.
Right. We're like there.
That's my homie. But yeah, you want him on that team. Put it that way.
You want him on that wall.
Yeah, you want him. You need him on that wall. Yes. But all right. You guys got anything you want to part with?
I don't think Max Stassi is as good of a defensive catcher as advertised. Look at his numbers last time he played. Kind of average. That's all I'm saying.
The fact that you have to preference it with last time he played.
Yeah, I mean, he's off the year.
I know.
Take the rust off. It was not. Yeah, I don't know.
I know.
I'm not upset about the signing, but like, come on, like, give me something that moves the needle slightly.
Yeah, I mean that's brutal.
All right.
I can part with this plug. That's about it. I don't know. That's the only thing I can part with. There it is. Mm-hmm. That's the picture of the night. I could part with that. I don't need it. It's not even. It's USB. We use the other cable now, right?
For Big J Mitch, for all of that's Fids, I'm Zoe. We will see you guys next week.